You are my ecstasy. When you are next to me, flooding my dopamine. Stay here right next to me. Oh, you make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the sky. Couldn't call me, couldn't be sorry rolling. Like whoa, you took all my love like you stole it. Got me like whoa, yeah, whoa. You are my You are my You make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the sky. Every time you leave, I come down. So good you know that I need you around. You are my You are my You are my Every time you leave, I come down. So girl, you know that I need you around. You are my ecstasy. When you are next to me, flooding my dopamine. Stay here right next to me. Oh, you make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the sky. Every time you leave, I come down. So girl, you know that I need you around. You are my you are my you are my every time you leave, I come down. So girl, you know that I need you around. You are my ecstasy. When you are next to me, flooding my dopamine. Stay here right next to me. Oh, you make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the sky. Girl, you done got me. Girl, we be sorry rolling. Like, whoa. You took all my love like you stole it. Got me like, whoa, yeah, whoa. You are my you are my you make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the sky. Every time you leave, I come down. So girl, you know that I need you around. You are my can touch the sky. Hate coming.
We never discussed who
Hello.
was gonna intro, but that's fine.
uh, all right. Hello, everybody. We are back at IGLeague TV. We're going to be for the $3,000 qualifier. This is week number 5, if I'm not wrong. I'm Zach, and with me here is Sir Mickey, also colloquially known as Mickey, and the Breach Flash cosplayer, if he, messes with his ring light settings a little bit. But yeah, to recap you, we already have one game go down. It was Team Fish Tacos versus, I keep forgetting the name, Handsome Jits, yes, where we saw Handsome Jits walk off with a perfect 2-0 victory. To be fair, one of those matches was forfeited because one of the players had some tech issues, but nevertheless, a really cool win for them, and that cements their position as number 1 at the league. But right now, we have a really cool match for you guys between, again, Team Fish Tacos and Team ACACIA GGs. And the nice thing is that these are the number 2 and number 3 ranked teams in the league right now, so it's definitely going to be a banger of a match. But I've been talking for long enough. Sir Mickey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. It's great. I haven't been with IGL in a couple weeks, and it feels good to be back. I'm ready. I was watching the stream earlier. I saw a very unfortunate, I believe 13-7 TFT went down. It was just not very pretty on Haven, but hopefully we see a little bit more fight this time around. I know a couple of the guys on Team Fish Tacos, phenomenal players. They just need to bring in that skill that I personally have seen in the past, and I think they're going to be okay. But I am very, very excited. I'm not 100% sure if we have the maps quite yet, but I'm definitely ready to see maybe some Pearl tonight. I want to see some weird maps, weird KO plays, weird Astro plays, maybe a Yoru here and there. Definitely going to see Harbor. I feel like Harbor's become a controller meta at this point, but all in all, I'm excited and I'm ready.
Yeah, so we're going to be having the same 3 maps as the last time around, which are Fracture, Haven, and Lotus. Like you mentioned, I'm really hoping to see some Harbor action. I think that if we get to Lotus, it might be a possibility, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're going to be starting off on Fracture, which is map number 1. And I think we're going to be heading into Agent Select pretty soon. Looking at what we're picking, I think Team Fish Tacos, they went with a pretty meta comp the last time around. You did see the Cypher, Breach, Brimstone for the controller pick, as well as I think Heroes was on the Fade and Crescent was on that race. So very, very metacom for this particular map. They're not really messing around. The only thing that you probably switch around like in a main VCT is going to be that Cypher Killjoy instead of a Cypher. You do see the side of ACACIA messing around a little bit. I believe at one point I saw €4. It looks like your average, well, I forgot what that game was called, Replication Simulator for a second. But yeah, they're getting back into normal shape now.
I will say, if we get a Yoru tonight, it's going to be interesting to say the least, because this map is, I feel like this map is very initiator heavy. You really see a lot of Breach, a lot of Fade, a lot of KO, Soba. Every initiator in the game really shines on a map like Fracture. But when it comes down to it, you always need at least one duelist on the team. And I think Yoru is one of the ones. Yoru and Raze, personally, I think are the two for this map. That's my opinion. I think Neon's pretty solid too. But if we're gonna see a Yoru come out from any team tonight, it's gonna be one hell of a game to say the least. But we are gonna have a double initiator setup. As I was saying, that double initiator setup for the members of TFT Team Fish Tacos. It's gonna be Kairos and Frag sitting on the Fade and Breach, who again we've seen those two go apps. I mean, if Frag personally, he's a little bit of a personal hero of mine. I love that kid. I love the guy. I mean, the hair of Zeus himself, love him. But the skill of someone who definitely puts the time in this game. And as I'm saying that, we are going to have a double initiator set up on the opposite team on ACACIA as well. Excuse me. But no, Fracture, I hate this map. I hate it. This is one of those maps where you're like, what is going on? But if you put in the time and the effort to really learn the map and the tactics, which we know both these teams most likely have spent hours on end studying this map, especially players like Frag. I mean, you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, how does this work? And then you're going to look over at Team Fish Tacos and you're going to be like, okay, they know how it works. I wonder if I have a possibility of figuring it out. And sometimes you just don't, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think that I also struggle on this map with my ranked games because there's always like people doing nothing, just vibing and spawn. Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Yep.
be watching flank when there's literally like a killjoy turret doing it. But I digress. I'm sure that these teams have a much better show prepared for us than my ranked games, which are like super depressing. I think I went from like Ascendant 2 to Diamond 2 in like one day. But again, I'm getting off track
I
here. We're gonna
never
be heading
made
into
it
the
past
pistol.
silver, so I mean.
A little bit of a flex there. But anyway, we're going to be heading into the pistol right now. Team Fish Tacos is on defense, if I'm not wrong. They're going to be going in for their usual aggressive tactics, though not as aggressive as they usually do. You usually see them go for like a 4-man push towards that drop, going for a bit of a pinch. But I think they're a little bit traumatized after their last game. So they're going to be taking it a little bit slow. In fact, it's going to be Crescent venturing out, caught in the open, being taken down by Bell right now. First blood going in favor of Team ACACIA. A great start for them, and that's immediately going to trigger the rest of the execute. Smokes go down, the counter smoke to try and wall it off is gonna be it's gonna make things a little bit more difficult. Poppy getting a kill off the back of that. Kero still holding strong in tower. In fact, finding 2 kills, dropping the spike as well. And suddenly the pace of the round has shifted. If Keros can hold this position, it's gonna be everything that his team needs here. The Prowler doing so much damage and also being able to catch trios, going for the 4th kill as well. Not quite able to get it, but Haxa is there for the trade. And Team Fish Tackles, they get the pistol. And definitely this is what we were like looking at on a map like Fracture. Keros looked a little bit shaky in his first game of the day, but he's back to normal. Like 4 out of 8, already halfway there to the ult after that pistol round.
And that's what I was touching on earlier in the pregame was we're talking about these initiators and how vital they are on a map like Fracture with all these angles. I mean, you're gonna get flashed by someone. It fully depends on what direction you're looking and when it happens. And when you have 4 initiators in the game as a whole, 2 of which are breach, I mean, you're definitely not going to have a great time. Neither is Stoby taking a Marshall shot to the gut and being sent into the mirror dimension. And but again, Kairos coming out in that initiator form, round 1, picking up 3 kills. That's nothing to shy at. That's some solid gameplay. And after that early pick, it looks like it looks like ACACIA is going to go ahead and turn around and say no thank you to A site as of yet, but they might run into some serious trouble in arcade here in a second.
Yeah, things looking a little bit dicey. You do have 2 members of the defense trying to hold back, and of course Haxa venturing out, having heard all that noise, might be able to find the timing, and in fact catches the back of a player, but still the Stinger strikes back as Icy is able to trade it out. Frag though is fragging out of his mind, manages to do the cleanup and get both of those kills. And for the side of Team Fish Tacos, they only lose 1 player in the process. So all things considered, a really good anti-eco coming out for them. They're also like really building up on this ult economy here. Both Kairos and Haxa are pretty close to their respective ults. The Nightfall in particular might be really important when it comes to a retake. But talking about their opponents here, my eyes are on ICKL because they already have 5 out of 7, and that orbital strike can prove to be a make or break in a lot of these rounds, especially when you're on attack. There's just so much pesky post plant that you can keep playing, especially if you know like a couple of cringe lineups. That might be what they need. Fullback kicking it right now for the attackers, and it remains to be seen what exactly they can do. Once again, Fish Tacos, they're not afraid to get a little bit aggressive here, go for some control towards this arcade area, not quite finding anything, and they're not going to overextend. They're going to be falling back and possibly trying to play together to trade out, and if not win the round, at least take down as many of these rivals as possible and do some damage to the economy of Team ACACIA.
Yeah, I mean, on a map like Fracture, you can't afford to not do damage. Angles are your best friend on this map, especially on defense. You have to play a little bit passive, but you have to know when to get aggressive, and that kind of stands for any map. But Chrome is holding this angle on offense, might I add, just ready and waiting for someone to peek through. And here comes Breach to say hello. Frag goes down. Poppy with a quick trade, though. 50 seconds on the clock. It's a 4 versus 4. Bomb is still on the back of ACACIA. Vel has it up. They have full rifles on the board for ACACIA. Poppy. Bell drops into Poppy's crosshair perfectly. Stoby with a 2-piece. Haxa getting involved as well. 1 versus 2 now. Stoby nowhere to go. Bomb is down. He's got to make something happen here. Hostiles have been detected as the knife comes out. Beautiful headshot on the Haxa. 3 under the belt. 1 to go. 25 on the clock. Stoby in a 1 versus 1 going up against Crescent. This is vital importance. He is going to be able to grab that spike, head back to site, possibly go for a heaven plant here. Quick fake, trying to bait out Crescent. See what he can do here, but he's only got 10 seconds to play with, and that is not enough time to do what he needs to do, and I think he is barely going to be able to get that plant down. He knows exactly where Crescent is. Crescent is clueless. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Underneath heaven, doesn't know where Bomb's at. 7 HP in a dream. Stoby with a 4K, going to shut it down.
A beautiful clutch coming out of Stoby there. 1v2 to close it out. A little bit of trash talk in the chat as well. But that is going to give the side of Team ACACIA 2 major ults, both the Null Command as well as the Orbital Strike for this round. What they don't have, unfortunately, is an economy, because even if Team Fish Tackles didn't win that round, they managed to take down 4 of those rifles. So you're going to be seeing Spectres across the board now. 3 players, in fact, despite winning the round from the side of Team ACACIA, are going to be stuck on these Spectres here. Of course, you never knock the Spectres. The running gun is extremely deadly. But weaponry-wise, I think that Team Fish Tackles definitely do have the advantage. You also see the Operator coming out right now. However, though, Chrome with some really nice stun utility is going to be able to take down Kairos. That's one initiator down the Nightfall offline as well. And Crescent, again, we've seen this play coming in from him before in the previous game. He's happy to get a little bit aggressive, able to get that first kill and gets away with his life. That is huge right now. 4v4.
Absolutely massive. That's what we were talking about. You need to know when to get aggressive, and Crescent getting aggressive with that Operator is a huge risk. That goes down, you might have just lost the round if he didn't take that kill there. Fortunately for Taco, they did. They were able to get that kill down, evened it up 4-4. Bomb is still on the back of Stoby here. Spike in hand, the flash drive comes through. They're clearing sight nice and quick. A is there for the taking. And now it's nothing but red. Nothing but Team Fish Tacos on site as they are gonna, or excuse me, nothing but Team ACACIA on site. The Orbital Strike comes through, not gonna tag anybody up, but 30 seconds on the clock. Team Fish Tacos, this is not gonna be an impossible retake, but it's gotta be pretty damn perfect.
Yeah, 3v3 spike down. 40 seconds left to go on the timer. Haxa on the flank here. First obstacle is going to be the player in the corner. Not quite able to flick onto time, and IGLeague will get that first kill. 2 remaining players right now. Poppy does have control of the drop here. Second player from CT trying to back him up, but right now they know the position of where these remaining defenders are, but they're not sure exactly where the attackers are. You do have Stoby on side as well. Chrome finding that kill onto Crescent is huge right now. It's all down to just a substitute here. Poppy trying to do the most that they can, but not able to find anything, as Stoby will be on cleanup duty. But talking about the mechanics of that particular round, I just loved how Team ACACIA really played that. They lost a player early on. They got a pick. They lost a player. They knew that the Operator was playing towards B main there. Possibility of being pushed out. Immediately, the call comes from Stoby. Pop the ult, go towards A, and they get the site for almost free. In the process, they also bait out that Orbital Strike while keeping their own in their own pockets. So that might be a huge playmaker in this particular round. Ideally, they shouldn't need it because Team Fish Taco's economy is going to be utterly in the dumpster. No real ultimates to work with. The Blade Storm not quite online yet. So it should be a round that they could win. But Team Fish Tacos, they know how to work these ecos. So let's see how this goes.
Oh, right as you said that, Crescent was able to snag the ultimate orb, and now defense has a bit more than a sheriff to help them out. Blade Storm comes online. Poppy not in a good spot. Chrome gonna go ahead and live up to Neon's namesake and go Neon and hit a beautiful headshot. And take out Frag, 5 HP, and gets the job done somehow. 3 versus 5. It's a 3-man retake. Kairos and company have to, at this point, just get a pick, grab a gun, and save that weapon for next round. But Vel is going to have a field day, just another day at the firing range for Vel. And Icy going to go ahead and solidify the third on the board here for ACACIA as Haxa goes down. And right out the gate, we're only 6 rounds into, well, now we are about to go into round 6, and it's already kind of been, I don't want to say one-sided, but we've had 3 in a row now from ACACIA. That's 3 rounds in a row from ACACIA, and the first 2 did go in the way of TFT, but it seems once they weren't able to get that bonus round, it's just they fell right down the mountain that they were trying to climb, and now it's just a fight to the death at this point. It's 3-2. Again, very close match. It's still very early in the game, so there's plenty of time for either one of these teams to assert their dominance here, Zach.
Yeah, that's for sure. Fish Tacos, they do have their buy again, and we saw in the last map how deadly Crescent can be with this particular Operator. Haxa playing in its own smokes, able to take down Chrome, the tip of the spear. Stoby is quick there for the trade, though. It's all down to Poppy to try and anchor this side, and unfortunately, Stoby is more than ready. 2 on the round already, going for the spike plant as well. The Nightfall coming through will delay it just for a little bit, but these smokes are still going to be a constant menace. Icy, in the meantime, able to take down Crescent. That's going to be the Operator offline right now. Kairos swings into 2 people, not able to do much damage. It's all down to just Frag. frag against the world, a 1v4 to go, walks right into IC's crosshair and is not going to be able to find anything. And the momentum is firmly, I would say, in the favor of Team ACACIA right now as they get 4 in a row. They've had so many ults to work with, and they are just measuring them out bit by bit. They're happy to wait it out. And again, just impeccable trades coming out from these players. They're always right behind each other. Like we saw in that round how Chrome was the tip of the spear, tried to get that pick, fell, but immediately Stoby was there for the trade. And there's just not any kind of similar backup coming in for Team Fish Tacos. And they really need to fix that if they want to try and take this forward, because right now they seem to be struggling a bit.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they all bought out Sheriffs last round. Bladestorm came on, didn't do much for them, but Chrome, there we go, picking up 1 and 2. Poppy and Frag going down. That's going to open up B site wide open for the plant. The question is, can they get bomb there? They're going to be able to get that spike down, but that's 2 down, and that's your initiator and your controller already off the gate. That's Flashes gone, and a bit of a post-plant to help Rooney out as well. And now it's just a 2 versus 4 as Icy getting a beautiful angle from up in heaven. Chrome picks up number 3, but Crescent shuts him down nice and quick with that Sheriff 1 versus 3. This is not, oh my goodness, I don't know how Stoby survived that, but Icy gonna make sure that Crescent doesn't. 5-2 is the score line, and you gotta give it to Crescent for putting up one hell of a fight there.
Yeah, that was I hate it when my Sheriff hits somebody in the head for 145. It's one of the most depressing Valorant moments that ever exist. Like if I have the merit to hit a headshot with the Sheriff, please just give me the kill already. Upgrade the Sheriff. Like you guys, you have a murder weapon for 1,100 that just tears 2 people and can kill 3 people with 1 magazine. I'm talking about the Stinger, but you have a Sheriff that's just a bit cheaper that does like almost nothing. That's just really sad. But I digress. It is going to be the full buy. I'm sorry?
It is unfortunate. It's very
really unfortunate for that particular player, Crescent, I believe. But yeah, once again, it is going to be just a full 5-person rush right now. Keros and Crescent are able to find a few kills, but the trades are quick right now. Things are back to a 2v2, and it's going to be the Fade on super low HP, 1 bullet away from their demise, barely surviving right now. And of course, to make things worse, it's going to be the suppression coming through as well. NBG Poppy has a lot of work to do here. It's going to be up to them to be able to try and clean up, because the Fade is not looking too healthy. Not much utility left in the bank either for that particular player. Poppy, though, has his entire arsenal, has that Molly as well to try and make things work out. The Prowler is trying to smoke people out of the site, but not quite detecting anything at this point. They don't know where these players are. They could be towards main, they could be on site. They are prepared for the possibility that there's somebody in that corner, but the volley is beautiful and Poppy's able to find a kill. The trades are impeccable as well, and finally, Team Fish Tacos bring it back. It is going to be 3-5 right now as they manage to get the defusal on the spike, and of course, this is very important because Poppy will also have his ult for next round, and that orbital strike, we saw the amount of damage that it could do. So a really nice round coming out of both of these teams, and the difference in this round, I think, is just that for once, Team Fish Tacos, they were able to back each other up. Crescent got a kill, went down, Keros got a trade, ran away, Haxa was there for the 3rd, and it was, for once, the retake was in a situation where it was on even numbers. It was a 2v2 rather than a 3v5 or 2v5 or whatever else. So that's really good for them. They've managed to really figure out the base of the game, and they have 4 ults available right now, so things are definitely looking up for them.
Yeah, TFT is not out of this by any means necessary. Like we were saying earlier, we know a couple of these players. We know Frag and Crescent, they are phenomenal players, and they definitely have the potential. They have the ability to bring this back. And again, I mean, we're in the first half. And until recently, we were in the first half of the first half. We're on round 9. There's still plenty of game. Yeah, there's still plenty of game to be had. So it's still possible for either one of these teams to really take hold here. And at the moment, the worst case scenario for the best case scenario for ACACIA here is a 9-3 half, which is still not entirely possible, especially with that beautiful curse that we have. But again, Poppy and company coming out so strong here. Now they've gotten that defuse off. Here comes the rolling thunder. That's going to be huge. Aftershock as well. Orbital coming in. Haxa is going to pick up Chromie off the stun, and now that's a quick rotate from TFT from ACACIA as they realize we don't want to be a part of that. A bit of a brim diff coming out there. Icy putting down Poppy, but Crescent gets the trade. 2 versus 2 again. We're having that even scenario, the 2 versus 2, where Vel and Stoby are not in the best situation, but they have bombed down. All they really have to do is play time here.
One
But
enemy
Crescent,
remaining.
we've seen Crescent get aggressive, and he really, really lives for it. But it doesn't really matter because Hax is just in the firing range and hitting headshots like it's nothing. Picks up a three-piece, shuts it down. 5-4 now as Haxa and company are starting to really pick up their pieces.
Yeah, talking about that particular round, I love how they played that 2v2 retake because, Crescent was making all this noise, running around with the Blade Storm, trying to, like, keep them distracted. And it worked because Haxa, he just walks in, clears that one angle, knows where the second is because he cleared all of main. So that's just a really good distraction coming out of Crescent. And, of course, some really nice headshots as well with the Blade Storm there. A huge round for Team Fish Tacos. And that's going to trigger a timeout right now from the side of Team ACACIA here, whose momentum has been squarely stalled. This is going to be, they still have a bit of an economy to work with, but this is probably going to be the last round that they can comfortably buy in every single player that is. And they do have a couple of ults to work with as well. Chrome already having that Neon Ultimate, the overdrive back online again. The thing is, though, for the side of Team Fish Tacos to win that round, they spent a lot. I think that they used the Blade Storm, they used the Orbital Strike, the Rolling Thunder as well to try and trap a player towards I believe it's tower. Yeah, I think that's where they went down. Yeah, towards tower. So they used a lot of utility and a lot of ultimates to try and make sure that they converted that round, which is good. The fact that they managed to do it. But right now, not only is their economic situation looking a little bit precarious, they have to win this round to be able to do quite well. And more than that, they don't have any of the ultimates that they had in the previous one to work with. So they're looking at a little bit more of a difficult task here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Acacia at the moment they're not exactly playing bad, but they're dropping the ball. They've lost 2 in a row. They just haven't really been that solid on not even getting onto site because their initiators, Vel and Stoby have done phenomenal work. Vel might not have the kills. He's 2-7. Drios 1-6. Drios phenomenal player as well. You just got to give him a moment to shine. But Stoby and Vel have done such a phenomenal job of getting Acacia onto site. But the problem is the only person that's really, really good on post plan here is Drios and Icy on that Cypher and Brimstone respectively. And speaking of, Icy gonna go ahead and pop out that Orbital Strike pretty early on in the round while Chrome gets completely trapped in a trap wire, thus giving it its namesake. Haxa gonna be able to pick him off, and 120 on the clock as Vel is gonna be able to get the plant down here. Haxa and company, they got to figure out a way around this awful field of nothing. But I mean, this defense is not. It's got to be perfect. That's the thing. This defense has to be phenomenal. The retake is underway. Somebody's hiding in a corner somewhere. There it is. Icy with the trigger discipline of the gods picks up 2. K-Rose with a quick trade. 3 versus 2 now as Vel takes out K-Rose. Quick trade again from Haxa. Another one from Haxa. 3 under the belt. 1 to go. Drios takes them down. Cypher Differoni, but NBG Poppy gonna show up and show off just for a moment, tie things up 5-5, but I gotta give it to both Cyphers. Haxa specifically has been playing a little bit out of his mind. Drios has been there in equipment. 2-7 on the board, not doing phenomenal kill-wise, but then again, Icy has 15 kills, so you don't really need your Sentinel to be popping off. But again, Drios has really been showing up on the equipment and helping his team out, getting those assists here and there. But all in all 10 of these players have been playing pretty phenomenally so far.
This should go.
For sure. And just talking about that particular round, once again, I just like how the setup from the Cypher, I believe it was Haxa, was something that was set up to, and they expected the Neon Ultimate. They were expecting the aggressive push coming in. And talking about aggressive pushes, that's going to be Chrome this time. Once again, it's going to be Stoby caught in the tripwire, though they're able to find one of their own. Haxa still on site, anchoring it down, finding 2 somehow, while Poppy comes in for the backup. Cypher ult is going to be committed as well, so they're going to know exactly where this last player is. Veldo can able to connect the headshots, gets the first, but Haxa will again find that trade. So yeah, that was a really, really quick round, and Fish Taco will take the lead. But again, just the way Haxa is playing, right? He is the Cypher of your nightmares, the cringe player that you don't want to go up against. His tripwires are, they're not conventional. They don't give off instant information, but it's like they've made an analysis of how Neon players like to play. And every single area that Chrome is like sliding in, it's just instantly stopped by the combination of the Cypher trip as well as the Brim smokes coming in. If they can't see it, they can't break it. And it's a free kill through the smoke, which is what Haxa is like banking off of. 16 and 8 right now. The top frag across the scoreboard. And it's mainly because of how annoying his tripwires are. All kudos to him. I feel like Drios has a lot of lifting to do when it's going to be
Yeah.
switching over to defense here. So that's definitely something to watch out for. But once again, something else that I like about this team, ACACIA, is that they are always going in for some ult orb control. You see them farming up every single round. I see in the meantime, again, finding first blood onto Karos, who ventures just a little bit too far, making the A side a little bit more vulnerable right now. Frag is going to be playing a bit aggressive to try and trade things out, but right now this B side is almost completely empty. Only one Cypher on site, and already I feel like the Cypher is going into spawn right now, so the timing might be perfect for Drios here if he plays a charge right. Oh wow!
But Frag,
Spike
speaking of
down
timing, is going to pick off Icy, but gets traded out relatively quick by that fellow Breach. And 45 on the clock. The Rolling Thunder comes out. Poppy, get out of there, Dad. Get out of there right now. 40 seconds on the clock. They are rushing side as hard as they possibly can. And with the help of that Neural Theft, it's going to be a little bit easier. Chrome gets a quick trade after Stoby goes down. It's a 2 versus 3. One-man deficit on the retake. Is Haxa and his buddy going to be able to get it done?
Haxa, aware of the possibility, doesn't know exactly where these players are, knows that Chrome is towards main, but aside from that, not quite sure. Poppy, though, able to find 2 right now, bringing things back down to a 1v1. It's all done, just a Cypher here. Drio's playing in and out of the cage, will be able to connect that kill, and we're going to be ending the half at 6-6. But yeah, that Drio's really needed to wake up there, and he woke up when the team needed him the most. Double just kills in one round. But jokes apart, I think that these teams are super evenly matched. You can see exactly why they're number 2 and number 3 in the division right now, doing an absolutely fantastic job here. And now that the sides have switched, I feel like for the side of Team Fish Taco, it's gonna have to be Crescent who really pops off. We saw him do a great job on Haven last time around when they were playing against their opponents. But once again, it's gonna have to be him being that tip of the spear. Frag and Chaos can set him up, of course, but Crescent has to do a lot of heavy lifting here. And Haxa, I honestly have no questions because this man, he's a rat, and I say this in the best way possible. Haxa is the most rattiest Cypher I've seen, and it's such a pleasure to watch.
And that's a compliment. That's, I mean, as a Sentinel, Sentinels in general, I think maybe Sage is the exception of this rule, but when it comes to Sentinels, you gotta be a rat. That's your job. You're defensive, and like you were saying earlier, Drios, he's got a lot of slack to pick up here on the defense as we're switching sides because he is the only Sentinel over there. They have a controller, double initiator, and a duelist. He's the only Sentinel over there. Basically, the only defensive player aside from maybe Brimstone, but again, that's more controller. But Drios has really got to lay it on right now. I mean, starting this round, it needs to really show up as a defensive, not only character, but also player and role. I mean, you got to hold those angles nice and close. And unfortunately, at the moment, that's not at all what's happening over in Arcade. Drios and Stoby getting a little antsy. What is going on in Canteen? This is a full spawn rush? What's happening here? A spawn walkthrough, just taking a tour of the map. Frag picks up 2. Like it's nothing, because apparently it's nothing to them, and it's gonna leave a 3 versus 4. I don't know what's happening, but I'm here for it. Oh my.
That's it's gonna be back down to a 2v2. Frag really putting up the numbers here as they get the 3rd kill on the round. It's all down to just this KO. Stoby's position. No one does drop down, but Haxa still playing in a really ratty angle. It's gonna be Stoby caught between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't manage to push through into spawn, so that might be huge. Stoby having to somehow isolate these fights, then it's just looking impossible right now. Dodges the flash, no, not able to get the kill onto Haxa, as it's going to be Team Fish Tacos picking up round number 7. But yeah, it seemed like for a while these guys were really putting up like the defender cosplay. All 5 of them just taking a nice little stroll through the defender spawn there. A bit confusing, but nevertheless a tactic that worked out for them. So yeah, all things considered, that's still a W. Either way though,
fracture. It's confusing is your best friend.
That's true. That is true. Having casted this for a while, I completely concur. But yeah, talking about Haxa, 17 and 9. I don't know what this man had for dinner, but he is doing a fantastic job. Either way though, looking at how this is going, not much economically in the pocket right now for the side of Team ACACIA here. They're gonna have to play with some pistols across the board. I saw Shorty as well towards tower. God help anyone who walks into that particular one. But Team Fish Tacos, they're gonna be going in for a little bit of a default, expecting perhaps a push coming out from these players. But so far, it's just nothing much.
Yeah, this is turned out to be this is probably the slowest round we've seen so far. I mean, usually they're running and gunning, they're just ripping each other apart, and right now it seems that both teams You know, the economy isn't quite there for both teams. TFT has definitely got some SMGs on the board, a Bulldog under Haxa, but IC and company, ACACIA is sitting on pistols and a Shorty and a Sheriff. So this is definitely one of those that you want to play slower, especially on attack. If you're not fully equipped with the rifles to cap people off from distance, then it's just not going to go in your favor. And it looked like a full 5-man stack over at B for for ACACIA, and they are going to go ahead and get the notification that bomb has been planted at a site. And now Chrome gonna get domed by K-Rose. And I was gonna see if I could keep going there on the rhyme, but it didn't work. Scobie picks up one frag with an instant trade per usual, 3 versus 4. For the most part, the Spectres are coming to fruition here. Crescent picks up Bell, and that was all she wrote. That was all she wrote. I mean, again, like you were saying, Haxa is 18-9 at the moment. 18-9. A minute ago, it was 17-9, and Crescent had 9 kills. I mean, it's. I don't want to say there's a carry happening, but there's definitely a bit of a cipher diff when it comes to the kills. But you know, at the end of the day, who is Haxa? Who is it? Like, who is Haxa? For the blind, he is the vision. For the hungry, he is the chef. For the thirsty, he is the water. If Haxa thinks, I agree. If Haxa speaks, I'm listening. If Haxa has one fan, it is me. If Haxa has no fans, I do not exist.
Talking about Haxa, talking about Cyphers, though, it's going to be Drios this time able to find a cringe tripwire of his own and get a kill off the back of that. The Poppy is there for the instant trade. Chrome as well, trying to lead this charge here on attack and find a possible kill. Frag in the meantime, though, able to take down Drios. That's just a huge kill right now. Chrome getting the spike as well. Once again, it's going to be dropped in spawn. A bit of an awkward interaction. Things back down to a 3v3. And remember, this is the full buy coming out for Team ACACIA. So every single rifle that they drop, it's going to do like a huge dent into their economy. They have a lot of work to do here. Haxa still holding strong here. For a second, I'm confused as to whether he's the attacker or defender, but either way, it does seem like B side is where they want to plant. The orbital strike and the concussion come out in quick succession. Not quite able to fight anything, but at least denying the plant for quite some time. Though after like about 10 seconds of that, it is going to be Poppy getting the spike down eventually. Both players towards spawn right now. They know that the retake isn't coming in from there. ICKL gets spotted out towards arcade, and they know that there are definitely players towards main. So at this juncture, they know exactly where they are. A 1-for-1 trade comes in as Haxa is able to find 2 with the help of that Bulldog. It's all down to just ICKL. Gets the first, doesn't know where the second is, but manages to connect a headshot onto Carol immediately, and that's going to be a successful retake. Holy crap, that was a really nice shot coming in. A bit of a tactical shooting, just a celebration, but that round got way closer than it should have, considering the weapon advantages coming in as the gap narrows to 8-7. But you know, talking about these attacks coming out of Team Fish Tacos, they are intent on confusing us casters as to whether they're the attackers or defenders. The way they're playing, the angles they're holding after planting the spike, it's pretty insane. And the fact is that it's a really good call. Whoever the IGL is, the fact that they call to take spawn knowing the push is coming out on either end, it is just what is really winning the rounds or doing the damage in the last couple of rounds here. So a really good call coming out from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about these guys. All 10 players in this lobby, they're not new to this game. They know how the competitive side works. They know how to strategize. They know the ins and outs of every agent that they play. So you can definitely expect that when they call an audible, there's a good chance that it's going to work. When you just decide on a plan right there in the moment, it does most likely it's going to follow through, especially with the I can speak with the I was about to say with the experience of Batman right there. Braggleton coming in, unfortunately not going to be able to cap the third. Chrome now has bomb down. This is gorgeous. The relay bolt able to slow Poppy down, but Jet gets through. The Cloudburst is providing perfect cover. Crescent, Chromie, turn around. Chrome, turn around. There you go. There you go. Okay, everything's fine. The Zeus fingers came out on top. A 4K. We might see an ace here. This could be a beautiful ace here. All Chrome's got to do is take out the man, the myth, the legend, Haxa. This is definitely this is possible for Haxa. Definitely possible. Full health with a rifle, Neural Theft coming through. They know that Chrome is going to be sitting on bomb, and they know that Chrome has that ultimate on board, but I think actually it just ran out. If that's how Neon's ult works, I genuinely don't know. But I've also just been informed that it's not called ACACIA. You've been saying. I thought you were just saying it weird. It's ACACIA. I apologize. Um, I play a lot of Minecraft, so I assumed that it was ACACIA. But Drio's gonna snag the ace from Chrome, bring it to yet another tie game, 8-8. These guys so far in this second half, it's been neck and neck. It's been a little bit of a tug of war. In that first half, it was two right off the bat, 2 rounds in a row for Team Fish Tacos, and then ACACIA took it 5 rounds in a row. TFT took it back for another 4, and then ACACIA finished it back off with that 1, and then 2 and 2, and it's just been tug of war since then. Again, I've said it. I've said it 4 times, and I'll say it 43 more times. All 10 in here deserve to be in here. All 10 players here know how to play this game. They are phenomenal individual players. It all comes down to how they work as a unit.
Completely agree with you there. Talking about units, though, the entire unit of it seemed like there's a bit of a gamble stack coming on to this particular B side there, despite having the weapon advantage, and they left A side open, and team Fish Tacos, either they got a read or they got lucky. They're going to be able to get onto side. We're looking at a full 5% retake right now. No weapons to work with, only sheriffs across the board, with the exception of Crescent on that Blade Storm. Has a lot of work to do here. We'll have to find the timings, but Chrome hits a sick flick to be able to get that kill. In the meantime, though, while the distraction was being caused by Crescent, it's going to be Haxa and Karos finding 2 of their own on the sheriffs, picking up the upgrades as well. And Stoby will be able to bring things back down to a 3v3. Gio's finding 1 as well. The last 2 players, they know the positions. After that hat comes off, and now it's all down to Frag. You've seen this man being able to clutch things out so in the past before, being able to get that first kill, but the smoke is down. The defuse coming through, the reload at the worst time, and that is going to be round number 9 for the side of Team ACACIA there. But it got so close, considering that Fish Tacos were only armed with sheriffs and 1 Blade Storm, and the Blade Storm didn't even do any damage. It got too close for comfort. Again, though, just the way these players are playing from the side of Team ACACIA, it's really a pleasure to watch. They have like this buddy system thing going on, like, hey, you go, I'll be right with you, getting those trades really quick, and just being able to constantly keep the numbers advantage in their favor, or evenly matched at the very least. Talking about ults, though, both Stones still have the strike online. Stoby as well with an ultimate might be a factor to watch out for in this particular round, because on that retake, it's going to completely shut down a lot of these utility, including the smokes as well as the weed flash. So Stoby might be all they have to do to stay alive in this particular round. In the meantime, though, Haxa with the camera across the map will catch a bit of a push. So that's going to be a little bit of information at least caught in the hands of Team Fish Tacos here.
Yeah, but now that camera is out of commission, so they got to wait for it to refresh here. But now just over a minute on the clock. And again, we see the full buys coming out from all 10, with the exception of Vel, who's got a Spectre, and Chrome, who is just half shielding it. But I mean, you do have to give it to TFT for really sticking to it here. I mean, neither side has really given an inch so far, but TFT has really been fighting. I mean, all 5 have been phenomenal so far. Haxa's 21 and 12, Fraggleton's 13 and 13. I mean, the kills are coming out for all 5. And on the other end, it's a bit of a 3-man show over there. Icy, Chrome, and Stoby all double digits. Trios and Bell haven't been getting too many kills, but they've been there with the equipment. Speaking of which, Haxa actually goes down. Kairos trades, refrags to Chrome, and Drios with a quick trade as well. Poppy is at a perfect angle here, but it's a 2 versus 4. This is, I mean, Tacos does not have a lot of room to play with. Poppy barely missing the shots on Drios. Frag takes out Vel, and now it's just Fraggleton in a 1 versus 3. Stoby goes down 1 versus 2 now. Both very hurt. Icy and Drios, both extremely hurt. A well-placed fault line could be the difference here, but no. Frag is going to be able to get a 3-piece, but Icy, with a quick trade, going to bring it to a 10 to 8 round. Oh, how rude. Get it off the screen. Get it off the screen, man. We don't want to see that.
There was a guy in the previous game. I forgot his name. It was really funny. Shit. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, a bit of celebration coming out of IC, some teabagging, and well deserved, honestly, considering how low it was. Fraggleton had immense potential to be able to just close it out. Now, at 8 to 10, this is going to be the last full buy that Team Fish Tacos can really afford. If they lose this, it's going to be 8 to 11, and they can't afford to eco because it's just going to be match point for free. Coming back from that is going to be really rough. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a do or die situation on this particular map for the side of Team Fish Tacos. So looking at how they've been playing, they are not playing badly. That's the thing. It's just that consistently, round after round, the side of ACACIA are just able to trade each other out better. It just comes down to something as simple as that. They have better setups. They're happy to rotate together. Like in the previous round, for example, you saw the Jet to Tacos Crescent making all that noise onto that ace site. You saw 4 players ready to deal with it. They take Crescent out, get the numbers advantage, and then go back towards that B side for a retake. And once again, just the utility usage and the coordination between these players just seems a little bit better than what we're seeing from Team Fish Tacos here. Sure, for Fish Tacos, you have the individual heroes. You have Haxa stepping up. You have Frag being able to consistently, time and time again, get super close to a clutch, but not quite able to close it out. But overall, coordination-wise, they just seem to be a bit lacking. Maybe they're a bit frazzled from the defeat on the same map after one of their players lagged out. Maybe they're not used to having Poppy here, who is their substitute right now, but they have to buck it up big time. This round is really important for them, not just for the economy, but also for the scoreline overall. And Fish Tacos, let's see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, and you got to give it to TFT. You got to give it to Team Fish Tacos for, again, they're playing with sub at the moment. And that's not just weird for the sub, playing with people who they don't normally play with to fill in for someone who they have to live up to this legacy or whatever. But to the rest of the 4 who are able to adapt with this new Brimstone on their team, who, if Poppy is a Brimstone main, I'm not 100% sure. I believe they are controller based, but I'm not 100% sure. But to have them come in, they might have had to switch up their composition for a map like Fracture. They might have had to switch up a couple things, IGL maybe even. But the fact that all 5 are able to adapt to the point where on an insanely awful map like Fracture, they're able to keep the game not only close. They're able to keep it so incredibly close. And there have been moments where they do have the upper hand, and the upper hand is slowly falling towards the lower hand that is going to grab them by the hair and yank them down into the grave at the moment. But Poppy and company on one of the quickest rotates I've ever seen in this game, straight to B site, where it's essentially empty. The aftershock comes out to prevent the plant, but it's not going to happen. Bell takes down Frag. Again, that breach on breach violence. These two have been going insane on each other the entire game. And now we're going to see that Neon really come out. We could see the Duelist come out in full show, but no, Haxa puts one down, picks up Stoby, but that null command could come into play. The ultimate of the KO Crescent picks up 2. Bell able to revive Stoby, but gets taken out as well. Now it's a 1 versus 2. Stoby has full HP, just got picked up. No dice though. Poppy gonna shut it down 10-9 as TFT starting to come back.
Yeah, huge round coming out of them, one that they desperately needed and got, so that's definitely huge. And they also managed to build up these ultimates as well, both the Orbital Strike as well as that Rolling Thunder online. Sure, the economy might not be the best place, but they're still going to be able to buy in. Well, Frag might only have a Bulldog, but we've seen the man pop up with the Bulldog, so it's no big deal. Talking about economy, though, for the side of Team ACACIA, things aren't looking too good. You do see one Stinger on Chrome, but that's about it. No ultimate to work with either. No Overdrive to be pesky, like running around and trying to zap people out of the world here. They are looking to get a bit aggressive off the back of that with the help of Stim Beacon. Chrome leading the charge, but not quite able to connect the shot, though. Icy gets the trade. Talking about trades, though, Kairos is good for 3, looking for more as they push forward right now. Knows the position of this player as well, and Poppy is going to be able to walk around and take down Bell. It's all down to just a Cypher here. Drios knows that the players are going to be coming to his side, but only armed with the classic. How much can they really do? Gets the headshot. Crescent is more than good to just jump up and take them out. That was a really quick round. Once again, we're going to be back in the same place, 10-10, as both teams even things out. The economy back online as well for the side of Team ACACIA, and they're pretty close to some of these ultimates. Ultimate wise, I would say that Fish Tacos definitely has an advantage in this particular round, but aside from that, for the side of ACACIA, they're pretty close to it as well. Like, if Icy can get 1 kill, that Orbital Strike might be what they need to make or break the round. And I think that one of the ults that's really like underestimated is that Neural Theft. The Cypher on either side can immediately, help with the rotations. You just pull it out, takes off the hat, knows exactly where everybody is. And especially with that ult getting a buff in the recent patch, it might be a huge difference maker Once again, it's going to be Chrome going for a little bit of aggression. Not quite rewarded this time, though. 1-for-1 trade, so it's not too bad. And the fact that it was Papi that was the kill, that is huge. I would any day trade a duelist for a controller because that's going to be no more smokes, and it's going to make executing so much more difficult right now for these players from the side of Fish Tacos.
Yeah, it's all about execution there at the end of the day. But Kairos here has a pretty good angle on Icy and Stoby if they do so choose to peek out of the heaven area. But Kairos is going to pop off Icy here. A little fault line followed up by a rolling thunder once more. This time from Fraggleton. Kairos goes down, and Drios Crescent looking for a trade is going to pick it up. 1 versus 3, and unfortunately Vel is not going to be able to get anything done, and we're 1 away from match point. And a minute ago it looked like ACACIA was going to be the first to get to the match point mark, but now it's looking the opposite. It is just a couple rounds in a row, 3 rounds in a row. That's all Team Fish Tacos really needed. They just need a little bit of room. Just a little bit of room to come in and, do their 360 no scopes or whatever. And they were able to regain traction here. And now they're looking like the favorite here. But again, all 10 of these players are phenomenal. It comes down to how they play as a unit. Are you communicating? Your calls have to be precise. And obviously your composition is also a huge factor, which is why we are seeing a double brim, a double breach, and a double cipher setup in this game here on Fracture. I mean, those are phenomenal agents, and all 6 of those players are phenomenal at playing those agents. So again, it comes down to how you know your agent and how you can bring your agent to the table of your team. And I'm going to be honest, I lost the metaphor about 10 sentences ago. But at the end of the day, both teams have been phenomenal, and it's still very, very possible for ACACIA to come back here and bring it up to a tie game, 11-11. We could make a wish, but again, it's just as possible for TFT to bring it to that match point and end this quick.
The thing is, I feel like ACACIA right now, they're playing for overtime here, because if you look at their buy, they're just going for a half buy right now. Whatever they can afford, they're not forcing up here. I think that Chrome is also only 1 away from that Neon. Once again, it's going to be the tripwire of death here as Haxa manages to catch Chrome right and stop him right in his tracks. Crescent leading the charge, dashes into sight, takes control of the Sands area, and Drios is going to be the sole person on side, already getting spammed down to super low HP. I don't think that he got spotted. That's a huge kill right now. Able to deny the spike fun, gets a second. Oh, not quite. Connects to the headshot though, and doing a lot of damage to Kairos in the process. Crescent's position though is just too much of an advantage as they're able to get that kill. It's all down to just Icy here in a 1v4 situation. 2 of these players are quite low, but armed with only Sheriff, I'm not sure how much this player can really particularly pull off. Just get that kill. Goodness. That's at 1 HP. That's really rough. So I actually don't know how much more they can do. Just hear the zipline popping up. Gets a second as well. But that's about it as Team Fish Tacos. They will be able to find match point here. All things considered, it was still a decent round. It did let them charge up some of these ultimates, both the overdrive as well as the... I think they already did have the orbital strike, but nevertheless, they're going to be able to have a full buy right now, and it's going to be exactly what they need. Chrome in particular will only have the overdrive to work with, a Guardian as well from the teammate, but that overdrive is going to be what they're really dependent on in this particular round. As for the side of the attackers here, they have a lot to work with. Team Fish Tacos, if they play their cards right, should be able to close this out. As for ACACIA, they have a lot of work to do, because not only do they have to win this round to keep this game going, they will also have to win it with as many kills as possible. Haxa caught looking at the camera. Unfortunately, this time around, it's going to be the Neon on top instead of the Cypher. Gets that first kill and opens things up. Expects to push towards this particular site as well. Nightfall coming in will manage to tack Chrome up a little bit, but with this utility available, it's going to make things very difficult right now. And I think that the ultimate only caught 1 person, so that's going to make things very difficult right now. Still be able to find one on the cross. Kairos there for the trade. Still player advantage towards the side of Team ACACIA here. And Fish Tacos, they have been very much slowed down.
Yeah, just a bit here. That Nightfall, I'm not really sure what happened. The Nightfall was the perfect entry, but like you said, it only caught up 1 person, so it could have been a little bit better, obviously, but they didn't use it to their advantage whatsoever. They could have went off the distraction, and Taco Company could have totally pushed in, got aggressive, and got those kills on the board, but They waited a little bit. Allowed them to bait the rotate,
30
thinking
seconds
they were
left.
going A, and then they took too long, so they went B, and it was able to drive a couple players for Acacia off site, and then Crescent goes in, gets 1 kill, and now the re-rotate coming back through. Icy puts down Kairos, and that might be another audible to do another rotate, but I don't think so. Chrome and Company are going to stay put, as is Crescent. The Guardian is not the weapon you want in that situation. Crescent, with the Blade Storm, picks up an entire 3-piece, and that's all she wrote for map 1 on Fracture, 13-10.
Slice and dicing up the enemy's Crescent, really waking up towards the end of that map, coming up on top of that leaderboard, stealing away the MVP from poor Haxa there, who did a lot of work. But nevertheless, a great map 1 coming out of both of these teams, incredibly close. But that's going to be it for Fracture. You did see, that the fact that, even though they seemed at a little bit of a disadvantage, Team Fish Tacos managed to wake up. They did a great job. And heading into map number 2, I think that we're going to be expecting another close game. The pressure is on right now for the side of Team ACACIA. They have a lot of work to do to be able to try and close it out. 1 map down. So anyways, before we head into map number 2, I think that we're going to be taking a short break. So we'll see. We'll be right back, and we'll see you on the other side.
Minari takes him down. Only 1 bullet, decides to reload right in front of Green. Tries getting in halfway, and he actually sticks it all the way to half. And he reads those Yun Min with the win. What a clutch. On 1, but they're out. But here comes the nightmare. It's making them very afraid. Spike is now down. Lucky holding that W key. Getting a double kill with the spray down. This man's ready to go, and it's all up to Zell. He sprays it down, but that nade, it's doing some work. He doesn't know where this Reyna could be, but Reyna's giving away her position, and Lucky getting a 4K with 1 spray and then a clean. Clutch up. And right now, Truly, with this tour de force, is going to spot 1 and only able to get it, but that's going to be a double, and that's a triple. God. That's what we like to see. Handedly! No! Bring them back into this game! Now going for it. The ultimate's now pushing in, and all the dumpage. Lemon able to get a just mow down of a spray, getting all these picks today.
Yeah, I mean, and this is exactly the thing that we want to be seeing out of Lemon. He's going for the ace here, and he's going to try to close it out with the overdrive. Ace for Lemon off the back of really beautiful high tempo.
So, let's see what's going to happen moving forward. We do have a Paranoia getting thrown out, and what a spray down. He gets himself 3. He gets himself 4. Checker, you're just better at that, and now defenders get the match point.
Oh, man. Separate the defense. Oh, no.
And the spray down B.
It's got to be in Fire's hands. Of course, the Vandal, very powerful, able to get himself 2 picks, and able to get all of them. What a beautiful play.
This could be tragic. Finds 2. 3, 4. Come on.
And slow things down a little bit, but now Santee in a 1v3. This is going to be very tricky. Able to find 1 here. He's going for the second one, and he's got it with the classic out. He's going to find the 3rd kill, a 4-piece for Santee. Actually able to close it out and put them up.
They're going to save it for 1 more. But okay, Legend just going to go ahead and line him up and shut him down. Killer and Lelouch down in 1 shot.
Push, but Lulu and Chill, he's able to get 2, and that's going to be the final shot he hears. Of course, a little bit of a flashbang coming around. Kai jumping on top of bench, making a lot of noise. These attackers are on point, and this is where Kai shots. But what a shot! He no-scopes it, he wall bangs, and he aces it. That's what we're battling it out, but here we go. Brady from the top of heavens, able to try to do some damage. Last man standing here. What is going to happen now that we got Zambi? He knows that 1 is underneath him, but Kai is down. Last man, and he gets 2. Last guy, he's got it, and Gio to get the pick. Beautiful play, but oh no, does he have enough time? It's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
down to
so.
the wire. Oh, and he
Oh
gets
my
it.
lord, he actually pulls it.
0.15. That is not okay. He no-scopes it. He wall bangs and he aces it. That's what we love seeing. Kai is excited. His mouse movement is it down, but that nade, it's doing some work. He doesn't know where this Reyna could be, but Reyna's giving away her position, and Lucky getting a 4K with one spray and then a clean. Clutch up at
Yeah, I mean, and this is exactly the thing that we want to be seeing out of Lemon. He's going for the ace here, and he's going to try to close it out with the overdrive. Ace for Lemon.
1 for 1. It's an ace from Mikey if he can get it, and he's gonna ace it. Mikey, MVP of his team, going in hard. Win it again.
You will not kill
Nice res coming out. Spots Minari, takes him down. Only one bullet, decides to reload right in front of Green. Tries getting in halfway, and he actually sticks it all the way to half. And he reads those Yun Min with the win.
clutch.
What a clutch. On one, but they're out. But here comes the nightmare. It's making them very afraid. Spike is now down. Lucky holding that W key. Getting a double kill with the spray down. This man's ready to go, and it's all up to Zell. He sprays it down, but that nade, it's doing some work. He doesn't know where this Reyna could be, but Reyna is giving away her position, and Lucky getting a 4K with one spray and then a clean. Clutch up at
And right now, truly, with this tour de force, is going to spot one. And
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are back at IGLeague with the $3,000 divisions here. I'm Zach, and with me here is Mickey, and we're going to be heading into map number 2 for the day in this best of 3 with Team ACACIA going up against Team Fish Tacos. For those of you who missed it, Team Fish Tacos won map number 1 Fracture, but it was super close. 13-10, and they really put up a show. Heading into map number 2 right now, we're going to be seeing a little bit of role switching around here for the side of Team ACACIA. They're not messing around too much. You have Chrome switching over from the Neon to the Jet, I believe. Well, sticking to the Breach, Stoby going over from the KO to the Fade, and Drios moving from the Cypher to the Killjoy. We are going to be seeing the Astra possibly coming out as well from Icy. As for the side of Team Fish Tacos, they've already played this map once today. I think that they lost 13-6, so a little bit of a PTSD probably striking them there. But aside from that, this is a map that in the past they've been pretty successful on. Crescent in particular is a real menace with the operator on this particular map. If they can get their hands on one. Apart from the one initiator, I believe that you're going to be having Stoby on the Fade and Kairos on the Sova, switching things around a little bit. It is going to be an almost mirror match coming in. So let's head right into it. Mickey, what do you think about this?
I'm thinking it's going to be an interesting one, to say the absolute least. I was telling you specifically during the break, I remember one of the first matches I ever casted was Drios on Sova on this map, going absolutely ballistic. And not seeing him on Sova is going to be a little bit weird, but I'm definitely looking forward to what he can do on this map. I know he knows it like the back of his hand. Same with Fraggleton, same with Stoby and Crescent. All these guys know this map, and it's going to be interesting.
For sure. I'm really excited to see this because, like we talked about, Team Fish Tacos, they're coming off like one of their only defeats in this particular tournament. A little bit of a rough time there, so they're definitely picking back up. You saw them lose the momentum in the first map, but they managed to turn things around in the second half. And once they got onto attack, they looked pretty unstoppable. Especially huge credit goes to both Crescent as well as Haxa. Haxa in particular was a menace on that Cypher. On Killjoy, I feel like it's going to be even more annoying because of the potential for a post plant here. It is going to be Team Fish Taco starting off on attack as well. So again, if they can get the spike down, they have shock dodge to work with. They have the aftershock on the Breach. They have a lot of utility that they can just use to prevent the defuse of the spike from completely coming through. But yeah, they're gonna be going for some mid presence here, possibly an early B setup. But that nano swarm and that killer's utility is gonna push them off the side, following them into garage and C instead. It seems like the side of ACACIA is gonna hear all of this noise coming in, and it is going to be the Omen on the side being able to get 1 kill, but the trade is quick and things are back down to a 4v4. However, Drios, you gotta check your corners. It's gonna be Haxa saying Killjoy Duff right there. 3 players left, all of them looking very healthy, but in this post-plant setup with the lineup that the players from the side of Fish Tacos have, it's gonna be a really rough task to retake it.
A rough task is a bit of an understatement here. 3 versus 4 numbers game is dwindling for ACACIA. For ACACIA here, this is not a good position for them to be in. The retake is underway. Stoby is able to take out Crescent, but now it's Vel. 3 HP in a dream and a bullet in the brain from Poppy. First round in the way of Team Fish Tacos.
Yeah, really, really good execute. And again, just the fact that they were able to just play them like a fiddle, it was really good. Like they thought they were gonna go for B, then they funneled it to C instead. And the fact is that they were able to take down Icy right off the bat. That's gonna be no more smokes available for the retake. They get the spike plant as well, so that's gonna give them a lot of money to play with. In fact, Crescent is gonna be having a Vandal in this particular round. Going up against him is gonna be Chrome on the Marshall. Considering the Marshall not quite gonna be buying it, Drios is gonna be the only one with a pistol that's not a classic. Never mind, somebody else has a sheriff as well. But aside from that, just pistols across the board here for this particular team. Crescent once again trying to lead the charge. And in the meantime, it is going to be an A stack coming out here. If Fish Tacos realize this, it's gonna save them a lot of trouble because in close range, both of these classics and the shorty can prove to be absolutely devastating. Expecting that is why there's going to be a drone coming out right now. Not quite able to clear out Icy though, so that's going to be a position that Icy is going to be able to advance on right now. After making all that noise, I think that Team Fish Tacos is aware of the possibility that it's going to be a stack coming through, and they're going to be moving off the site right now. So that's a really good rotation and a really good read coming through. Oof.
Oh, Chrome showing off that duelist skill right there. Beatable headshot to Haxa here. The Sentinels have switched up. Drios and Haxa were both sitting on Cypher, now both sitting on Killjoy. Gotta love to see the versatility coming through as they're still taking their Sentinality. Drios, though, picking up a shorty, or picking up a Spectre, but with a shorty. I don't know what I'm saying. Guns were picked up, bullets were thrown. Crescent shooting Chromie in the kneecaps. Mid-air, Poppy picks up 2. Crescent is gonna finish it off. 21 HP. 2 rounds in a row now, and I mean, look at the economy for Team Fish Tacos here. It's looking pretty great. They were able to save a Vandal and a Bulldog on that round, and they've still got room to spare. Crescent already has the Blade Storm, so that's going to help with the economy quite a bit. Haxa says, I don't need a gun. Give me a Sheriff and give me my turret, and we're fine. But I will say, Killjoy recently got nerfed. Killjoy's turret is not near as durable now. It only takes a couple shots with the classic to take down that turret now. It used to be 3 whole magazines. It was kind of broken. it honestly needed that nerf, but the entry flash coming out, Icy beautifully looking away, getting himself out of that way of the fault line, but barely hitting him as he, on the way out, is actually able to take out Crescent, who, again, on the jet, had just popped the Blade Storm. That's going to be a pivotal point for Tacos to not have that duelist anymore. Also, Crescent has 9 ping, so I don't know if that has anything to do with the incredibleness that we've seen so far this round, this game here on Haven, but nonetheless, Fraggleton pressuring the crap out of CT corner here, making sure that it's going to be a little bit harder for ACACIA to retake this, but Icy and company doing their best to pressure all sides and just essentially force TFT to get a plant down. Poppy sliding, slipping, and snaking his way into garage, picking up 2, not the 3rd though. Quick trade from Frag, and it's a 2 versus 3.
Spike goes down as well, and these last 2 players, they're gonna have to somehow try and retake the site that's been quite well set up. Gio's gonna be the one leading the charge, gets the first, has to go for the awkward reload though, still managing to cross over, and with the Killjoy going down, it's gonna make things so much more easier right now. However, Vela is able to find 1 kill of their own. It's all down to the last player here. Frag stuck in the corner, Spike not quite planted for him, and the retake is successful, but the economic damage has been done by Fish Tacos. They might not have won the round, but they definitely taken down 3 rifles here, and just breaking down that round, right? They lose a player right off the bat. They leave Frag on the lurk. He managed to buy a lot of time for the rotation to come through. But then they realized that by that time, ACACIA has already gone back to the A side. So they have C side for free. They decide, okay, you know what? Let's try to get the spike down. Let's go in for a post plan. And they almost make it work. That play from Poppy in particular towards Garage was absolutely huge. They were able to find 2 kills. But again, just the patience coming out from the side of Team ACACIA. They were able to regroup together, and Vel in particular might not have had the greatest numbers in the last map, but this particular one, he's more than making up for it in that particular round. Right off the bat, it's going to be some aggression towards A being shown by Crescents right now. A beautiful recon spotting the positions of these two players on the A side. Crescent, though, doesn't care. He's still going to be pushing forward. And if Crescent can create some space on the side of the map, get a pick or two, it might be what they need to try and break into this A side, which does seem to be the battle plan coming out right now from the attackers.
Yeah, it's a lot of red on from Team Fish Tacos here. It just approaching A site, and Drio's barely gonna be able to get out of there alive, saving that Spectre in the process. Less than a minute on the clock. TFT, they got to get the bomb down here relatively quick. They are going to be able to do that. Drio still being forced off the angle. Crescent picks up Vel. The words are hard. K-Rose's intel dart. The what is that called? What, recon dart? Oh my goodness, the recon dart going to provide the information. But the back off is happening as well. Jet versus Jet. Brain splatter all over that wall. Chrome goes down, as does Crescent. 3 versus 3. It's nothing but aggression from that CT alleyway. Poppy, K-Rose in a row. Stovey picks up 2. Frag gonna seal it though. Oh my goodness, that was the last like 5 seconds of that was just absolute chaos. And it was impressive as hell to watch it all unfold, all on A site. 3-1 now. Team Fish Tacos still in control here on Haven.
Yeah, that they're pulling these rounds together with like absolute strings. Like I think that the last remaining player had like 33 HP left. Frag was barely alive, but hey, a win is a win. And I think that the major factor in these particular rounds is how aggressive Crescent is able to get and how much value they're able to find here. But yeah, after that win, it's gonna be the economy completely demolished for these players from the side of Team Fish Tacos. Chrome tries to get a bit aggressive, manages to dash out. There's a lot of damage, but has to reload at the worst time, and Haxa will immediately be able to capitalize and get that kill. Crescent in the meantime will find another pick as well, so that's absolutely huge. And in the meantime, once again, Team Fish Tacos, they realize that there's a lot of presence towards mid. Seaside is going to be pretty much free, and they managed to get their hands on it. Crescent as well, managing to find a really good kill onto Rios there, who was caught off guard in a very awkward angle. Vel does manage to get a trade, a 1-for-1 right now in that particular area, but with only 5 HP left, it's just going to be Crescent and Frag on the cleanup crew. A really, really quick 4th round for the side of Team Fish Tacos, and they are looking incredible right now on Haven. They have the momentum coming in from Fracture. They did a great job, and this is going to be the 3rd timeout, I believe, that the side of ACACIA is taking. They look a little bit uncoordinated, they look a little bit awkward, but I believe that they can pull it together because ACACIA is one of the more impressive teams that I saw the last time they were playing around. Hopefully this time around, if they can, manage to not have Chrome constantly dash out and die right off the bat, it might be a huge help for them.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when you have players like Fraggleton and Crescent doing what they've been doing, I mean, Crescent is 10-3. There's no denying the chemistry that Team Fish Tacos here has here, as a group, as a team, as a unit. They've just been so solid all the way through Fracture. They had a couple bumps in the road, but every time that happened, they got out of the car, replaced the tire, put some new tread on it, and they just kept going, and they ended up taking Fracture. And so far, there's been one little speed bump, and it didn't even pop the tire. The tire's fine. They just keep on cruising, and TFT has just been so solid, and a huge part of that is Crescent on that Jet, who's doing exactly what a Jet needs to be doing, and that is yeeting into danger, getting as much damage as possible, creating space for your team to get on site. And sometimes Crescent likes to just kind of lurk on the other side of the map, get a kill or two, and that's still helping as a duelist. Your job is to do damage and create space, and that's exactly what Crescent is doing. On the other hand, though, we're about to see Chrome, the fellow Jet, pick up an operator, so I'm a little terrified. But the Hunter's Fury is going to come out here. Vel going to get tagged up. Crescent to solidify that kill onto Vel. Tagged up a little bit themselves. Spike still on the back of TFT. And now Crescent and company looking for an entry. Drios takes down Crescent. 4 versus 4. Drios again takes out K-Rose, but a quick trade from the fellow Killjoy. Icy on one hell of a flank on the opposite side of the map. Poppy, though, and company are going to be able to get Spike planted here. Quick little Spike switcheroonie just to get another ult on the board, perhaps. But there we go. The lockdown going to come in from Haxa. Post plant is going to be that much easier for TFT.
Yeah, 3v3, and they have to respect this lockdown there. They're going to be forced to fall back. The operator online gets the shot, almost getting the collab, but ACACIA will be able to find the timing. And of course,
Oh my
Stoby
God.
is just lying in wait. This push from the side of the defenders, I'm sorry, from the side of the attackers is a bit weird considering that the lockdown
Yeah.
would have let them have space to go back and play some post plant,
Yep.
but they went for the high risk, high reward play, and they were not rewarded. That's about that. But
Yeah.
finally, Team ACACIA pulling around together, managed to retrieve the op as well, so that's definitely a W that's going in their favor. Chrome, I think that the biggest problem you have with an operator on Haven is that if players don't walk into your crosshairs, it's gonna make things incredibly awkward on the retake, because so often you're left up leaving like either A or C up for retake. And you don't want to play super aggressive. But if nothing else, ACACIA definitely have the ultimate advantage here. They have 4 out of the 5 ultimates
Yeah.
available, and Scooby's only 1 away from that Nightfall. Definitely a lot that they have to work with. Chrome with the Blade Storm as well. Not quite enough money to buy a gun, but the way these players are hitting shots with the Jet, it's Jet ult, it's just pretty insane to watch out for. Talking about that though, the
Speaking
operator,
of-
yeah, the operator not quite finding damage as Chrome absolutely manages to delete his counterpart out of existence here. I think though manages to find the timing and gets a swing. We'll be able to reposition as well with the from the shadows, going over towards the opposite side of the map. Instead, it's gonna be Frag though, getting this plant down onto this B side of all areas, despite making so much noise in A. It's gonna be the timing though, perfect right now. Stoby desperately trying to stay alive after being flashed. Will be
Oh,
caught
man.
off guard by Frag backside. It's all down to just Icy here. 1v2, operator in hand, smoke coming down, switches off the gun to try and clutch it out. Has a lot of work to do, and the spike is gonna be planted for this particular link, if I'm not wrong. We'll have to somehow isolate these fights here. Just tap the spike to get some bait. Manages to sniff out the position of Fraggleton here. Going forward off the back of that. Has the paranoia to work with as well. And might be able to find the timing onto the breach. Does in fact manage to do that. And now it's all down to just the Omen. Knows the position of this last player as well. Both Omens are going to be tossing the paranoia. The teleport is there though. He's on top. He doesn't know. And that's going to be Poppy saying Omen diff right there as Team Fish Tacos find round number 5. Everybody dies, but Fish Tacos will still get the round. The operator not quite safe either. So overall, a really good round coming out of them.
Yeah, Poppy there really proving the namesake, to say the least. I mean, that was pretty nice. But I wish so much that we had replays, because Icy, that operator shop down long was just, again, living up to the namesake. Icy. It was cold. It was ruthless. It was disgusting. I don't know if we really caught it, but just a beautiful drag scope right onto Hax's chest. And it was exactly what they needed. But unfortunately, again, Icy not able to pull it out. And now 5-2, 3-round deficit. Again, still early in the game. We have plenty of game to be played, to be had. And at the moment, Team Fish Tacos getting very, very aggressive towards a site. We know they've had some relatively good luck in the past couple rounds with a site, but in those past couple rounds, it wasn't Drios doing a solo hold on A with the entirety of ACACIA on the flank here, but Chrome picks up 1 quick trade. Drios picks up Crescent, another quick trade, Stoby picks up 2, and that's all she wrote. A 3rd round finally on the board for ACACIA again. ACACIA, they did this in on Fracture too. They did this on Fracture, where TFT took early control. Those first couple rounds went in their favor, but ACACIA was right there with them, neck and neck, the whole time. These teams were playing tug of war for Fracture, and now we're starting to see the same thing again. It was a bit of a lead again early on from TFT, but now we're really starting to see ACACIA fight back here. 5-3 is not an impossible comeback by any means, but it is also not impossible for TFT to really slide into the DMs here and assert their dominance, especially on a map where so many of your players are phenomenal on this map. Haven is one of those where if you can hit your shots, you're most likely going to take round after round, especially with a player like Frag and Crescent on the board.
Right now, though, the economy not quite looking great for Team Fish Tacos, but hey, they did. It was ACACIA winning the previous 50. These guys might be able to do it themselves. Gonna be going towards B, smoking off the turret, so there's gonna be no information right now as they walk in towards the A link. But Vela is more than ready for it. Goes for the spray, gets 2 before being taken down, but it's going to be a 3-for-2 trade. The rifles are gonna be able to get picked up as well as they manage to rush towards the A link instead. Stoby caught by the molly, caught by the utility, tags up to 16 HP and a dream, but it's gonna be Icy on the opposite side who manages to make the most of the distraction that his teammates have created for him and clean up and get those last couple of kills. Retrieve the operator as well, so that's a W. It's going to bring things down to 4-5 right now. The gap narrowing much more, and it's just one round of a deficit right now. Talking about ultimates, Drios and Stoby both have the Nightfall and the Lockdown available for a quick retake here. For their opponents, though, there are a lot of ults that are very close to it. Both the Rolling Thunder as well as that Sova ult. The Hunter's Fury just one away from Precision, so that's going to be some really pesky post plant if they can get that spike down. And of course, the From the Shadows is available as well if Poppy wants to, pull off like a quick clutch. But never mind, Poppy instantly gets deleted from this particular round as Chrome just peeks through Garage, manages to get the quick kill and dash back to relative safety, barely taking any damage either. So that's a huge W for themselves. The turret not quite out in time to be able to prevent that from coming in. And without the Omen, without the smokes, this execute is looking so much more rougher right now for Team Fish Tacos.
Yeah, that controller's off the board. I mean, Chrome peeking through there with the operator, just erasing Poppy, getting rid of those smokes off the board. That's going to be a huge deficit. You do still have Crescent with the Cloudburst, but when it comes down to genuine cover, you want that Omen on the board, obviously. You want that controller. It's significantly better than a Jet Burst, which only lasts, I believe, 4.5 seconds. But the lockdown here is going to come out from Drios, but now a lot of attention being paid towards B site, but Spike still has no idea where it's going. At least to my eyes, it's looking like a full wraparound all the way from C, maybe down a long Crescent doing work on B site. Nonetheless, 30 seconds on the clock. Team Fish Tacos have to find a place to solidify Spike, and it looks like it's going to be B site as the Rolling Thunder comes through from Frag there. But Kairos, what a shot onto Chrome. Icy to Haxa, 3 versus 2. Spike now planted at B site. It's a 2-man retake. Icy and company, they got to get this perfect, but Crescent with a beautiful headshot, and now it's Vel in a 1-on-3, is able to delete Kairos, turns his attention back towards site where Crescent is lying in wait. Frag holding the angle of a lifetime from down mid. This is going to be an interesting one. Vel is not in the best position, but he's going to spot Crescent. But despite the very clear warning shots, Crescent is going to be able to pick up a 3-piece and bring the score to 6-4. Now the best case scenario for best case scenario for Acacia is to tie it up 6-6.
On a map like Haven, that's not bad, considering that when it comes to most teams, their attacking side is a little bit better, I would say, especially considering the comps that these teams are running. But talking about that particular round, it was Crescent who stepped up huge, getting a 3K on the round, just being able to pin down that position in the back of the site and being able to shut down both Icy and Vel is huge right now. A lot of the situations, you really don't want to risk those 50-50s, those 1v1s. But I feel like if we did a statistic analysis of this tournament, Crescent would probably have the most 1v1 wins available. Once again, it's going to be him leading the tip of the spear here as they want to go towards this A side. Already close to getting on site. Stoby is going to be the only one left remaining here, trying to anchor it down. Does have some backup coming in from the CT. Crescent gets a little bit too overeager, though. Tries to push the smoke. Not quite working out in their favor, though. Kairos is luckily there for the trade. A little bit of a TP play tries to come through, but Kairos and Poppy are more than ready for it as they get 1 each. 2 players remaining right now from the side of Team ACACIA here on this attempt at retake. One of them with an operator, and at this point, they're like, look, we don't have the money, we don't have the numbers, we're just going to try to hold on to these guns for the next round. Like 5-7, it's still a good score. We can come back from that. And that's exactly what they're going to do as they just run away.
Yeah, 5-7 is not an impossible scoreline by any means. 8-4 would be a little bit more difficult. That's a 4-round gap. Again, not impossible, but it's just ever so slightly more difficult. And at the moment, 2 versus 4, not what you want to see on the retake scenario. So they are going to go ahead and just save that weaponry, save the Bulldog, which isn't, not the best gun in the world, but that operator, Chrome holding tight to that operator as Kairos may be rounding the corner here right into the crosshair of Chrome. It's all about timing. There we go. Kairos going to go down. The operator is going to be saved. And I believe we're having some connection issues on the side of TFT, whether or not we're going to take a timeout to, I think we're good. I think we're okay. But again, I mean, if this game so far, this whole series has been a game of tug of war, and that's still true in some aspects. That's still very, very accurate, because at the moment, yes, we are going to call for a tech pause. We are going to call for a tech pause for TFT. They're having some connection issues, I believe, with Haxa. That's fine. But again, if you are just joining us, We're here on map number 2 of well, I was gonna say of the night, but of the series. It's a best of 3. Map number 1 was taken by Team Fish Tacos 13-10. Currently they are in the lead again 7-4 here on Haven, map number 2. If Acacia wins Haven, we will see a third map in the form of Lotus, right? I believe
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I
You're
thought
right.
I lied for a second, but yeah, it's been one hell of a series so far, and at the moment, TFT has been in control the whole time.
Yeah, they're definitely woken up on this attacking half. I feel like if TFT starts on attack, they tend to have a much better time in a game in general. But
Yeah,
it might also just be Crescent being able to put up those numbers, 15 and 8 right now. I want to see how many first splits this man has by the end of this. I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet they're going to be at least like almost double digits, or if not more.
I'm thinking half
If
the
they
kills
continue
at
the
the
pace.
moment.
Yeah, at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But just overall, the way these teams are playing, shout outs to both of them. They're doing a pretty good job. But it just seems like Acacia, they're struggling quite a bit on this defensive half here. Whether it comes to player position, you see Chrome, after getting that operator, doing a little bit better, but overall, just not able to have the same impact that they were able to have on the Neon on the previous map. Chrome, in particular, I feel like is an extremely aggressive player. The problem is that he tends to go for a lot of these solo peaks, and he's not able to quite combine the utility from his breach or from the omen or even Stoby to be able to push out and try to get some kills. It's always like a solo play, and usually right off the bat, him going down is like a huge deterrent to the rest of the team because that puts them in a 4v5 immediately on a map like Haven with 3 sites, with the rotation times being as long as they are. It makes things really, really difficult. So I think that it's gonna have to be a little bit more measured play coming out. You can see that Chrome has already dropped the operator, like, hey, I see. You know what? I saw you hit a really nasty shot in one of the rounds on that C site, so you can have it again, have fun. And this should be
Yeah.
pretty interesting how much damage that they can really do with this particular thing. Because you didn't expect the Omen to be hopping. Of all the players on that team, the one that you're gonna least expect is the Omen.
Yeah, honestly, or maybe the Killjoy. Those two are like, they're more stationary than anything. They're not really good with the movement as a whole. But I think that really, like you were saying a moment ago, when it Chrome, excuse me, Chrome threw the operator towards Icy. I think that really attests to how well these guys know each other. These 10 players. I mean, when it comes down to, obviously, with the exception of Poppy over on TFT because they are sub, but in general, these guys all really know how they play, and it's not so much how they play individually. It's how I'm going to peek this angle, and I know that this person is going to have my back watching the other angle. And it comes down again. I've been saying this the whole series. It depends on how you play as a unit. That is a huge factor. You have to be able to play with your team, and not just as a member of your team, but every move you make has to benefit your team in some sort of way. And both teams have been doing a phenomenal job at that. And Crescent is the epitome of that, because a duelist is meant to go in, get kills, do damage. But what happens a lot, and you'll see this whether it's in your typical ranked game or if you're in an unrated, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see a jet run in by themselves. They're going to die, and the whole team's going to get wiped. But at the moment, Crescent is doing everything in his power to do the exact opposite of that. But we are going to be able to get back into the action here. Crescent and company full force towards B site, but Icy shutting down Haxa super quick here with the operator. Again, like you said, a bit of an unexpected move. Bell takes the blunt force of that Hunter Fury, goes down. Crescent's in a beautiful position to do some beautiful damage, and it's going to happen. Icy goes down. Poppy picks up a trade, but Stoby, I'm losing my words. Stoby is going to be able to capitalize. 2 versus 2 now. Initiator and Duelist versus Initiator Controller. Just over a minute on the clock. The spike is fully headed towards a site where Poppy is already ready and waiting, holding those angles, and it's going to be Stoby and Chrome on that retake, and they have to be pretty perfect. It's a perfect 2 versus 2 here. Essentially full health on both sides. I mean, a little bit of damage here and there, but nothing too pivotal. Stoby is about to come face to face with Poppy. Chrome on the backup, 1 versus 1 now. Chrome picks up Poppy, 1-on-1. Chrome versus K-Rose. Duelist versus Initiator. Yeah, sorry. I lost it for a second. But on paper, Chrome wins this, but K-Rose has been so solid on the intel on... Oh, nope, but it's not going to cut it. Intel is not going to be enough to take out that jet. And there we have it for the half, 7-5. It was GH's in the chat. Unfortunately, Chrome was just the better player in that position. Getting rid of that Blade Storm, doesn't need it anymore. Doesn't need it anymore. It's like when you just use all the ink in a pen and just throw it out. Just throw it out. It's fine. It did what I needed it to do. Crescent is 16-9 at the moment. I don't know what to do with myself, but I'm starting to work up to a bit of a bow for Crescent. I mean, the man is just going off. But again, TFT losing that last round, not going to hurt them so much in this half, but in the long run, losing that round could be a big deficit because that was a potential 8-4 half. And unfortunately, Crescent and company weren't able to show up all the way. And it came down to Kairos, wasn't able to hit his shots. And now that's going to allow ACACIA to become or start to close that window. That window of opportunity is closing on all 10 players' fingers, but whoever is closing it fully depends on this next half. This is where these guys really need to show up and show off. The first half was just practice. It's an attacking sided map. The fact that ACACIA was able to keep up, or the fact that TFT was able to the fact that oh my goodness. Anyways, 7-5.
All right, let me
10 on the clock.
let me help you out there.
You talk now.
Yeah, a little bit tired there, but really on defense, it's still the same story for the side of team. Fish Tacos here getting a little bit aggressive. You saw Crescent getting that first kill towards A lobby. There's the 2 more towards Garage by Poppy, and it's all down to just Icy here on the Omen. Does have that armor to work with.
Oh.
Struggling to connect the shot, but still manages to get it done. 1v3 right now. Picks up the Sheriff. 1 bullet left. Has to hit that shot. Goes for the reload. That's going to give away the position at the very least. And in the meantime, the flank is already there from Kairos. That's going to be the 8th round kicking in for Team Fish Tacos. And, I like what you were trying to say there. You were early on to a point before you got confused by all the names, but the fact is that Fish
I'm glad you
Tacos...
could figure it out, because I couldn't.
From what I could hear, it was just about like how Crescent is just causing like a basic duelist. If I know you didn't use those words, but he's doing the exact job that you want your duelist to do. Not only getting those kills, it's also just being able to lay open the site and get those first picks. And he's still continuing to do the job as soon as the site switch. Like the man hasn't switched out of the attack mode yet. You saw him push up all the way through A lobby in the last time around. This time around, he's gonna be holding down C long with his operator. The smoke might be coming through. Ooh, catches just a tip there and manages to take down Icy. No more smokes for the rest of the round and tries to continue spamming through the smoke. Does a little bit of damage as well to the breach, I think. So definitely, Crescent, you don't want to peek this man on this particular side here. After making some noise, just getting the orb, trying to farm up those ultimates for their actual buy round. It does seem like ACACIA want to go towards this A side instead. But once again, you have the initiators holding super aggressive positions here. Jiggle peeks from Kairos will find the information. And the drone might be invested as well, but Kairos hears them running towards him and decides to play in the smoke instead. Through the smoke, gets the first. The paranoia is impeccable, and Kairos is able to find 2 more off the back of that. Last 2 players, they managed to pick up a Spectre between them, but it's still going to be Poppy anchoring down the site through the smoke. Gets that first kill, perfect headshot, and will connect the second as well. An almost flawless round coming in for the side of Team Fish Tacos here, and they are 9-5 right now. If they can somehow win this bonus, if they can convert it, it's going to be what they need to completely assert dominance on this particular map and just go for a clean 2-0 push.
Yeah, again, this is attacking side of map. This is one of those maps that it's if you start on defense and you don't put up the fight of your life, it's gonna be or no, I should say if you start on attack and you don't put up the fight of your life, it's gonna be really hard for you to get any ground when the side switch comes into play, because now we have TFT on the defensive side and they're continuing that momentum that they ended the last half with, and it's working for them. But now we are going to see ACACIA on the attack, and they're going to be able to really bring out that aggression that Chrome and Stoby have been really displaying so far in this series. Icy as well has been getting up close and personal. So it comes down to that attack side. And at the moment, ACACIA has a slight advantage because of that. But I'm interested to see what happens with Crescent and this Bucky. I'm very interested to see what happens. But unfortunately, he's going to catch a Prowler to the face. And that's going to open up a window of opportunity for ACACIA to make their way through Garage. But Haxa is there firing off some warning shots, letting them know, hey, don't come over here. I'll shoot you in the toes. And that's going to trigger a rotate from ACACIA all the way to A side.
Yeah, it's just going to be one player, the Sova, trying to anchor it down towards a short angle. Does manage to push forward and might be able to find the timing. In fact, Icy clears out the rest of the site, but they haven't checked short yet.
I was
Keros,
about to say
they expect it
nobody's
though.
checking
So
sewers.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Drios.
Keros does have the position,
Oh,
but
there we go.
Drios will be able to wide swing and get that kill. So that's a really important kill that they've gotten. With the slow off, that's going to be no more initiator utility available for information on this particular retake here. Through the smoke, I see doing a lot of damage to the breach as well. The last 4 players, they're going to be doing their best to try and take down as many of these rifles as possible. They have to funnel in through this choke point though, and already you can see the crossfire, the molly as well, doing a lot of damage in the process, along with the haunt through the smoke. It's going to be Icy getting that first kill. Chrome pushing over as well, getting aggressive, gets 2 before being shut down, and Icy's there for the trade. So
Oh.
once again, that's going to be the round that they desperately needed. 6-9. They're going to be catching up right now, doing their best to make it as close as possible, and they hold on to 4 of their rifles. This round, though, it is going to decide the pace of the game. It will either let Team Fish Tacos run away with it, or it's going to be the start of the comeback for the side of ACACIA, because both teams have a full buy. Both teams are very close to some pivotal ultimates. I'm especially looking at the side of Team ACACIA here. But Fish Tacos, if Keros can get 1 kill, that's going to give him the Hunter's Fury, and that might make or break the round if Keros can get like a kill or 2 or deny the plant off of it.
Yeah, that Hunter's Fury is so pivotal, especially on post plant. I mean, it's gorgeous. Unfortunately, Kairo's not going to be able to use it on post plant, but he can deny the plant and just overall gather information because he's been phenomenal at that. But nonetheless, Vel on that initiator breach once more, gonna get spiked down. Chrome essentially full blind, doesn't matter. Takes out ACACIA. That's a sentinel off the board. That retake just became a little bit harder. Again, ACACIA as a sentinel, you're not really meant to be that aggressive. So on defense, you want to stay on site, but on the retake, it's a little harder to get the job done with Killjoy. But nonetheless, comes down to 1 versus 3. Icy says, "Hey, Crescent, you want to taste this bullet for me? See if it's chocolate or vanilla. It doesn't matter if it's strawberry because it went through your head." And 9-7 is your scoreline.
Yeah, it was very good. Icy just goes and kills everybody. But yeah, really good things coming out. They make that perfectly. He does that sometimes. I see today, so
Yeah, it's
very
fine.
nurse. I see why he's called nurse. I see absolute nurse of Sug. I see nurse, super cold. Whatever else you want to say about him, but you know, for the side of Fish Tacos, after losing that round, that's gonna be their economy completely in their dumpster. Crescent does try to go for the Ultorb. We'll have the Blade Storm to work with, and it might be what they need to make or break the round, considering that nobody else has any guns to really work with. Right off the bat, the alarm bot is going to give away the position of this particular player. However, though, Crescent is not backing off. Still has the dash available, so still willing to get aggressive. It is going to be a really cringe lure coming out of Drios as they're going to be sitting in the crossfire. In fact, it's going to be a crossfire between Vel and Drios here, and Crescent, after that dash runs out, seems to be reconsidering, do I really want to push into this? A bit of a default coming out right now out of the side of the attackers here. They want to wait for the defense to make a mistake. They know that their money is low. They know that when that happens, it's usually just a couple of players rushing down, trying to get the timing. And so far, they haven't been really rewarded by it. Crescent did consider that, but also considering the fact that Blaze Storm is the most powerful weapon that these guys have, it's going to be super important. But talking about important,
Crescent.
even though the turret gets the headshot, oh god. Okay, never mind. Crescent's alive. Crescent's staying alive.
Crescent scares
He's jiggling
me,
with
man.
these knives, trying to do some damage, creating a bit of a distraction here. The crossfire though is too good, and they're not going to be able to quite pin it through. 2 players left right now for this defender, for these defenders. Frag able to find 1 frag of his own, taking down Chrome as they try to get out of the site, but still. No rifles really dropped in accessible places, and his teammate is just rotating over right now, puts the smoke down. The defuse still has to come through, and again, just the oppressive utility available on this post plant is going to buy so much time, whether it is going to be the nano swarms, the aftershock, the omen utility, everything just denying them from even keeping their hands on the spike. And still multiple players available right now, but they try to push through the smoke, and Papi is able to find 1 before finally being shut down. It's all down to the breach here. Does manage to get a kill with the concussion, pick up the gun as well, but the clock is running out. There's no more time. Goes through the white swing, and Drios will clean house here. Only Drios remaining alive. Stoby loses his gun as well, but at this point, for the side of ACACIA, their economy is absolutely thriving. They could buy guns and have enough to buy guns for the next 3 rounds.
Yeah, it's looking very, very promising here for ACACIA. Again, if you guys watching right now, if any of the audience member, if you want to get involved here at IGL, !Discord and hop in. You can maybe get involved in our next Skybell tournament and the next Open Division week. Get some information. Get your 4 friends and maybe a sub or 2 and hop in, play for some money because you never know what could happen. But nonetheless, again, this is map number 2 of 3, and it's currently 1-0 in the series. Team Fish Tacos coming out on top on that first map, and now we're here on Haven, and it's again one hell of a fight. It's been a long night so far, but we're here for it. Map number 3 is Lotus. It's a potential 3rd map, but again, if TFT takes this map, it's over. 2-0 for the victory. Rolling Thunder, interesting Rolling Thunder all the way down long, only going to affect Crescent. The Prowler as well. Crescent somehow connects the kill on Devel, even after being stunned twice. But there we go. Chrome is finally going to shut that down. And now it's a push towards A site, but it's a slow, kind of disoriented push. Icy's already on site. We are going to see Chrome finally up here, but Drios is all the way at Garage, between B and C, holding an angle at Garage. What's happening over there? I have no idea. But nonetheless, Spike planted at A site. Icy is now on that post plant, making sure that no one is going to sneak through those Omen smokes. But again, Drios, what are you doing, dude? What's going on? What's the plan?
I think he's trying to go in for a bit of a late lurk here to try and catch these players off guard. They might not expect somebody coming in at such a peak like late time, but in the meantime, these 2 players are gonna have to hold down the fort here on site. Oh my god, the collateral is impeccable right now, and it's just gonna be Killjoy versus Killjoy. ACACIA with just a couple of HP and a dream is probably not gonna expect this lurk coming through. Never mind, turns at the right time and just one taps Drios there. For a second, I thought it was gonna be over, but 19 HP manages to get the round and double digits for the team. Also has the lockdown for next round. A beautiful read coming out of ACACIA there. If Fish Tacos win this, that's gonna be one of my interview questions. How did you know? Did you expect the timings? Because I would not have expected it to be that fast.
A 6th sense coming out there. I mean, that was entirely in favor of Drios, and somehow ACACIA just some black magic tomfoolery coming out of absolutely nowhere, swapping around, just boop, there you go. Not to mention, what, 19 HP? Is something like that? I mean, a ridiculously low amount of health, and just decides to turn that direction and pop Drios in the brain. But now Chrome with the I have a friend named Chromie, I'm sorry. Now Chrome with the Blade Storm and Spike on the back, getting a tad bit aggressive towards mid. Nothing too crazy yet. Just looking for some information more so, but bomb on the back, gonna go down. Poppy picks him up. Pax is there as well, but gets refragged, and Icy taking out the fellow Omen. 3 versus 4 now. Spike finds its way to C site. The lockdown is coming into play. CT is nothing but defenders. K-Rose and Crescent clearing the board. Crescent picks up that final. K-Rose absolutely dominating with that rifle there. That was phenomenal work from K-Rose with that Vandal. Getting I don't even think there was an intel dart there. I don't think there was a recon dart in that position to get him that 3-piece, but the 3-piece came in no matter what, and suddenly Team Fish Tacos is 1 point away from match point, 2 away from taking the series 2-0.
You know, talking about that retake, I would love to break it down because that was just gorgeous work coming. And usually when that attacker Killjoy lockdown comes down, it's going to be some respect shown. But there was in fact a recon dart. While they were distracted breaking it, they just converged on the site. They were like, yeah, we know where the bomb is being planted. We know where the Killjoy ult is. We know all of you are going to be stacked there. And they just converge on them from both sides. And between K-Rose and his other fellow initiator, they just managed to go for the absolute cleanup there, getting all 3 of those kills without losing a single player. So a wonderful round coming out of Fish Tacos, and now, like you mentioned, only 2 away from taking the series with a very clean 2-0. It's gonna be a very quick attack onto the A side here by the side of ACACIA. Nobody on side, and once again, for the side of Team Fish Tacos, they managed to prove that the retake works super well for them so far. So they're just gonna be opting for that instead. This time around, though, it's gonna be the defender Killjoy lockdown. It's gonna be popped. Just Chrome stuck between a rock and a hard place, desperately trying to get out. Gets a helicopter shot, doing quite a bit of damage in the process. Breaking the lockdown as well, but in the meantime, the retake is on right now. All 3 players just funneling into sight. They're drilling out corners precisionally with absolute accuracy through the smoke. It's going to be Chrome finding the 3rd. It's all down to just Drios here on the lurk. This time around gets the Killjoy, but with a 4K, it's going to be Crescent bringing Team Fish Tacos to match and series point, 1 away from winning this 2-0.
Not your day, is it?
Yeah, I mean, Fraggleton and company, again, we talk about how phenomenal these players are, how skilled they are individually, but the fact that they're able to come in here with a sub and still provide such an entertaining show of this and take map number 1 with a 3 deficit, and now we are just 1 round away. And if I'm on ACACIA, I would be calling a timeout too. You got to figure something out, man. We got to find a hole in their defense somewhere. We have to find some string and pull it, and hopefully that whole damn jacket falls apart, because at the moment that jacket is soaking wet on top of a fire that is ACACIA, and it's just a tiny, tiny flame at this point. This analogy is crazy, but either way, 12-8. Frag and company have just been so great in the last few rounds in the whole series, and again, as a unit, phenomenal team right here.
Completely agree. And I think that this is going to be the second timeout that ACACIA are taking. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, things looking very, very rough right now. They already took one, and I think that they've taken all 4 of their timeouts over the course of today. So yeah, last one on this list goes to overtime. 4 rounds to take it to overtime and a possible map number 3, with not much in the economy, not much when it comes to ult, only the Nightfall and maybe the Omen ult available from the Shadows, which aren't exactly the most powerful. Going up against the Rolling Thunder as well as the Blade Storm is going to make things very difficult. They're gonna be able to scrape together a buy, the bare bones of it, and already once again towards the seaside, you do see some extreme aggression coming out. Chrome will hear all this noise. It's gonna be lying in wait, caught by the flash, but will be able to turn it just enough. Spots out the head of Crescent, and immediately he's like, you know what? I don't want to mess with that. I heard the Blade Storm. I don't want to risk it. Still though, is willing to get a bit more aggressive and trying to at least prevent Crescent from taking up more space here, as it's going to be a jet-on-jet battle towards the C-Long. A lot of utility, a lot of time being bought right now, as Crescent just acts like a distraction on this particular site. They are going to be channeling back towards C. In fact, the Omen ult as well coming in from Puppey was a bit of a fake there, a red herring to throw them off guard. They had to clear out spawn. And again, just the amount of utility and time being wasted right now by Team Fish Tacos is absolutely fantastic. Towards Garage, it's going to be Poppy with nerves of steel just holding it down. Doesn't matter if they get flashed. It's still going to be all good. And once again, Team Fish Tacos, they've just left this A site open for the retake. They do not care. They know that they have like a battle plan to be able to try and hope take it in by themselves, and they are going to be working for it as well. At this point, they know that this is going to be where it's coming. They expected the Nightfall. It doesn't find anybody, and right now, ACACIA might know that the site is empty, but through the smoke, it's still going to be the shock darts as well as the spray doing quite a bit of damage. So even if the spike goes down with like 20 seconds left, the retake, it's on its way already. Oh my god. Okay, that is just dirty right now. They have to get the spike down, right? We'll still be trying to stick it. We'll be able to get it down. And with the player advantage, ACACIA, they're looking to make this work out.
Yeah, Kairos with an incredible entry. The Sova, of all people, 360 no-scoping his way to that kill, denying the bomb plant, but unfortunately does get planted out of their way. And Drios and company there to finish it up. And we thought that TFT had that in the bag, because they have 3 rounds in a row here that are all defuse wins. We thought for sure that retake was going to be in their favor, but it just did not end up that way. Chrome and Icy, they just went phenomenal, and ACACIA is able to solidify their 9th point on the board. We're only 3 away from a tie, which will bring us into overtime. But again, TFT, I don't see Team Fish Tacos allowing this to go any further than 12-11, specifically because of how solid they have been on those retakes.
A bit of a broken buy for this particular round. I saw the economy kind of go into the dumpster here. Sheriffs on Crescent. However, those Sheriffs are still absolutely devastating, as Kairos managed to find the first blood of the round. However, the Chrome is more than good for the trade, as they managed to find 2 kills towards this ace side here. In the meantime, it is going to be the Omen on the lurk. However, Haxa has a really, really advantageous position right now and will be able to capitalize and get that kill, immediately falling back to Void, giving them that trade. And once again, the aggression coming in from every single corner on this particular map is going to put a stop to whatever ACACIA wants to do. Fraggleton trying to go forward, trying to pick up that gun, maybe do a bit more damage. And of course, Haxa towards the mid is still holding down this angle with the Guardian. All he has to do is hit some headshots and might be able to find the timing there. An absolutely nutty shot onto Bell. However, the trade is good and it's all down to just Chrome here. Jet 1v1 at this juncture, 15 HP and a Dream getting the spike down, and Fraggleton will have to try and clutch it out. Has both of his flashes, so it's definitely a possibility. A lot of work
I
here for Chrome
trust.
to do. It just has to be the timing and has to find the positioning as well. Doesn't know where exactly his player is coming from at this point. Is going to be watching this
here we
A
go.
link instead.
Oh.
1 HP has to hit the headshot, but it's
Oh.
not going to connect. Frag will clutch it out, and that is going to be that. Team Fish Tacos will be winning the series 2-0 on both maps. 13-10 on map number 1 and 13-9 on map number 2. Congratulations.
Man.
A bit of teabagging, but hey, if you're winning 2-0 like this, I think it's a bit deserved.
It's a bit called for. It's okay. But again, Fraggleton and company showing up, showing off. 2-0 in the series. Fracture was neck and neck, as was Haven. It was a phenomenal showing from all 10 players from both teams. But at the end of the day, you need to be a little bit more than just going in and getting kills. But I mean, somehow Icy takes the best combat score in the game, 310. Crescent right below 309. Crescent went 25 and 16. I mean, at First Bloods, we were talking about that. Crescent actually only got four First Bloods. What? I feel like that's not. There's no way that's. I mean, obviously it's right, but that's crazy. I feel like we saw him get a lot more aggressive than 4 First Bloods. But either way, I think we're going to take a quick break before we head. Are we just gonna do it? We're just gonna go in.
I think that we're gonna be just waiting to have an interview right now with the winning team. I'm
Gotcha.
not sure who we're gonna be getting from the side of Team Fish Tacos. I think that last time around it was Karos who jumped in, but this time around, let's see who does manage to make it for this particular team. And I already have a bunch of questions that I'd like to ask them. So let's see who's gonna be who's gonna be joining us today. I think it's gonna be your favorite, none other than Fraggleton, who is gonna be jumping in. So you can have the first pick at the questions. But yeah,
My
I think that
man.
talking about how Fish Tacos played, I think that it's really nice that they have like a really strong mental. We saw that the first game that they played today, they didn't have a really great time. They lost 2-0. They faced disconnection issues, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
even after losing 0-2, to be able to come back and just win 2-0 again, like reasserting a place at number 2 in the tournament, that's just pretty huge coming out for them. So congratulations to them. And we should be having our interview happening any second. But Mickey, talking about today's game, what was like your favorite moment? What are
I
your
mean,
favorite moments?
unfortunately, I only got to see the 2 maps. Well, I saw multiple maps,
Oh.
but I only got to be a part of the 2 maps. But I mean, there's so many moments where you're sitting there and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen now? Oh, that's the exact opposite of what I thought was gonna happen. And the main person at the middle of all those insane situations, the main person we saw was Crescent, either Crescent or Icy. Those 2 absolutely phenomenal on both maps. Crescent was just absolutely destroying here and there on Fracture and Haven. So at the end of the day, I think even though I love my man Fraggleton, I think personal MVP is going to go to Crescent, which is really awkward because as I said that, Fraggleton joined the call. So
yeah. I was
here,
just gonna.
man.
I don't want to cut you off, but yeah. Oh well,
Yeah.
welcome to your post game interview, Frag. Congratulations on your win today. Especially like I was just telling Mickey that it was super impressive after your unfortunate first game today. But hey, you bounced back and you managed to make it work. So for first question, like heading into the game today, like the second game today, were you guys like kind of depressed after that first one, considering the circumstances, or were you able to just go in and start like with a clean slate? How are you guys feeling?
We felt pretty good, to be honest. Like the hour break really helped. Everyone kind of reset, played a different game, and we kind of like came back with a game plan, kind of regrouped, and we kept a positive mindset pretty much the entire time, right? So I mean, honestly, like it was good vibes the entire time, I'd say. So yeah, definitely came in with a great mindset.
All right. And, talking about Haven, we saw like you guys had a little bit of a slow start, but you managed to like get back into the game. And once you switch sides, you guys look pretty much unstoppable. Same on Haven. Do you guys feel like you're better on attack or defense, or is it like a map dependent thing? Because in general, I feel like you guys have a pretty solid attacking on both sides of the half, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, but I definitely say like, just in terms of like cohesion, I'd say our attack side felt way better for us. I mean, obviously you said, Crescent's the GOAT, right? I mean, definitely deserved the MVP. Open up the map constantly for us. I mean, he was making space, making good mid rounds too. Like, can't anything better than that, right? I mean, as the IGL, that's all I really want, right? So.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see a duelist do. And the Crescent just came out is so strong, and so did you. You know, you weren't Frag, you weren't up there in numbers in terms of kills. You weren't on the board every round, but when you're playing your role like you were on your Sentinel, and I believe you were initiator in that first one, or
Mhm.
opposite. But yeah, anyway, but you know, your role, you weren't supposed to be getting kills, but you were still getting kills, and you were also in every fight doing something with your abilities, creating space, allowing your teammates to come in and get the work done. And that's exactly what your role is. And you just play that to perfection. I don't have any questions. I just want to praise you because you're a god at the game. I love you, bro.
I love you. I love you. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, that was one of those games like where my teammates are shooting. I'm gonna set them up. I'm gonna run in there, and they're gonna trade me, and we're gonna win the round, right? So I mean, it's
Yep.
all dubs at dubs at the end of the day, right?
Yes, sir.
Definitely, and of course, you did get that fantastic clutch in that last round. I remember seeing. I think that it was Chrome typing. I was only 20 HP. A little bit of a a little bit of celebration going on there. But
Uh,
yeah, congratulations. And just one thing. Do you and your duelists just go into like customs and practice setting up because you guys have like your timings down almost to perfection on attack? Like you
Yeah.
flash, he dashes, gets a couple of kills, just fantastic coordination coming out. So do you
I
guys actually
mean,
practice that?
to be honest with you, like that was I'm actually like newer with them, so but like the cohesion's just there. I mean, we all have reps together, or like just in general. So like the cohesion's there, and like we're just able to kind of get in there, talk to each other about what we want to do, make a game plan, and we just execute it, right? I mean, we're just that different, right? So just get
Yeah.
in.
And
I
I
think
did have a side question. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of following up on what Zach just said. The how you and your duelist hopping in, you and Crescent hopping in. The chemistry between you guys was phenomenal. You two specifically, and Poppy. That's another one for in a second. But when it comes to comms on Haven, what was that like? Was it chaotic? Was there a little bit of panic? Were you guys just calm? Because I feel like you're the type of guy to just scream at everyone, but in the best way
but
possible. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're
Like
actually not wrong
positivity
at all.
only.
To be honest with you, they would tell me what's going on, and I just kind of make a call on the spot, and then they'd listen and we execute it, and then they'd kind of like guide the round with like some really important call outs. I mean, Poppy does a great job just filling the gaps. Like I didn't have to tell him what
Yeah.
to do. He was just ready. Like I'm
That
giving
was my
out.
next question was how was it playing with a fill-in with a
Oh,
substitute? It's got to be a little weird,
Poppy's.
right? Or
Oh, it's a little weird, but Poppy's super solid. I mean, you gotta know Poppy, right? I mean, he kind of
yeah.
just came in there, he filled in the gaps super well. Like I would just give out an objective, and he was ready to just do whatever with his utility, and we just bounced back off each other, and we just kind of took over rounds. So,
Yeah. His main team is Nightblood, right? Nightblood Gaming,
oh yeah, he
I
was
believe.
yeah, his last team is Nightblood, but I'm pretty yeah they're disbanded
Yeah.
now, but yeah, he's on the market.
Alright.
So
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
shout out
So I
Poppy.
mean, yeah, a free agent. If you guys if you guys need a controller, there you go, Poppy. But at the end of the day, you guys played phenomenally. And again, I gotta give it to Poppy coming in as a fill-in, playing as a controller, just essentially gluing with an all-new team. Very, very solid play from Poppy, just in general. Phenomenal. Again, Frag, you played out of your mind here and there. Everyone on your team played phenomenally. I do
Here and
here and
there.
there, yeah, yeah, just here.
Ouch.
But
Hey, he's the IGL man. Let's cut him some slack.
yeah, I mean, no, yeah. At the end of the day, you're not just an initiator or just a sentinel. You're the guy calling the shots in the middle of all the chaos, all the panic. You're the one to decide what's next. So there is a lot of pressure on you. And when it comes down to it, you might not be on a killing agent. You might not be on an agent that is specifically designed for, like Razor Jet, who let me go in and get kills. But you're still doing one hell of a job to get your team in the position to win these rounds. So I got to give it to you. But I do also have to give it to Acacia. They put up one hell
Oh
of a
yeah.
fight against you guys. They are in no way, shape, or form. Well, they're phenomenal. They're very
Oh
solid
yeah.
team, and the fact that you guys
100%.
came out on top proves your worth as well.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah, I really
So
appreciate it.
So, Frag, before we let you go and celebrate with your team, don't worry, we're almost done. Just anybody that you'd like to shout out from either your team or your opponents, who either somebody who was really, really pesky and kept like annoying you guys, and somebody from your team who you think really stepped up today. Two names, real quick.
Yeah, Icy was definitely a little pest. That guy was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was
Oh
somehow
yeah.
managing to get all the frags. But honestly, like shout out everyone. I mean, like Crescent did a great job. Chaos did a great job. Chaos did honestly a really great job that game too. Like everyone
Mhm.
honestly like did their part that game. And same with Haxa. Like he had some some really great step up rounds that we really needed. So yeah, like shout out all the teammates on Team Fish Taco, right? So
Yeah, Team Fish Taco, congratulations on your win today, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you guys more around. Go
Right.
get some rest. You guys deserve it after the day you have, and congratulations, and thank you for joining us, Frog.
yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that is going to be it for today in the $3,000 division at IGLeague. I'm Zach, and with me here is Sir Mickey. We were your casters for today, so show us some love. Our socials should be there in the chat if you type !casters. Also, show IGLeague some love. Follow us on Twitter and as well as Twitch. Whenever we start streaming, drop in because you really want to support these teams. They are the
Oh, yeah.
lifeblood of the scene after all, and they got to like really develop it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the night from us. Sir Mickey, do you have any last words?
I just want to thank IGL for having me once again, Zach. It was our first time casting together, so it was a
Yeah.
genuine pleasure. I
Oh, thank you.
enjoyed seeing my man Fraggleton again, Drios as well. I will say Drios didn't quite show up the way I expected him to, but he was still there, so I got to give it to him either way. But it's a GG for me. GG to both teams. I mean, phenomenal game, phenomenal series on Fracture and Haven, just phenomenal. And word of the day, phenomenal. Good job, guys.
Yeah, word of the day is going to be phenomenal. And we're going to be signing off on that note. So, yeah, make sure you follow IG League on all of our socials as well as on Twitch. Join the Discord to know when your next tournament's happening. And hopefully, we'll be back very, very soon. Have a good night, everyone.
You